Hello and welcome back to another Football Commentaries live stream. We are back for Thursday night football as the Europa League returns, where Rangers, after a season away in the Champions League, start their group stage journey with Real Betis travelling to Glasgow. Rangers had a dismal Champions League campaign last year where they pulled out 6 defeats from their 6 games, putting them bottom of their group. And for Real Betis, they were able to get to the last 16 of this competition, the Europa League last season, but they were defeated in the last 16 by Manchester United. It was only 2 years ago when the Gers got to the Europa League final where they were beaten by Frankfurt on penalties, but this club has changed. Michael Beale is now the main man in charge, and it will be a requirement from him and his side to be competitive in Europe this season after the embarrassment of the Champions League. Real Betis have had former Manchester City boss and Premier League winner Manuel Pellegrini in charge, and he has won 50% of his games in this competition with 9 wins from 18. With tonight being the first meeting between these two teams in major European competition, will Rangers start with a home win, or will Betis spoil the party and take some points from Ibrox? That's the main question. It's probably a necessary return for Rangers to be playing Europa League football again. Their Champions League campaign last season was nothing short of horrific and embarrassing. Yes, it wasn't an easy group. They had Napoli, Liverpool within their group, but 6 games, 6 losses, probably a step too far in terms of quality. It's probably just too much for them, the Champions League, and it's probably a Europa League campaign where they will be able to meet the quality of the sides that they face. The Champions League is such a big step. It is the best of the best in Europe, but Europa League, it might be easier for Rangers to find their feet a little bit and get some good results. Like I said, the last time they were in this competition, they reached the final. Getting beat to Frankfurt only on penalties as well after they had taken the lead in that final back in 2022. But after a season away, they're back in this competition, a competition that they will certainly want to win. And usually they do progress from the group stages, Rangers, before that final that they got to in the 2021-2022 season. The seasons before that, they reached the last 16 back-to-back, being beat by Slavia Prague and Bayer Leverkusen. So they were just starting to find their feet in this competition until they got boosted up to the Champions League due to winning the Scottish Premiership, one that they hadn't won for quite a while. Stopped Celtic's 10 in a row. Europe is the quest for this season in the Europa League. They want to have a successful campaign. Like I said before, things have changed. The manager at the time was Giovanni van Bronckhorst at Rangers. When they got to that final, he's now gone, and Michael Beale is now in, former manager of QPR, taking charge of his 39th game tonight. Michael Beale he got 27 victories in the 7 losses. He didn't pick up any losses in his first 13 as manager, but started this league campaign, they've definitely had better. That's for sure. 5 games, 3 wins, 2 losses. First loss came in the opening weekend against Kilmarnock, and then were beaten a couple of weeks ago to Celtic at home, which was a disappointing result at Ibrox, to be beaten 1-0. Especially when there was no Celtic supporters present in the stadium that afternoon. But for Real Betis, they want to try and improve on their last 16 exit from last season. It's the last 2 seasons they have exited at that stage. The season before last, they were beaten by Frankfurt in the last 16. Not got much European history, Real Betis. Only once they have been in the Champions League, and that was back in 2005, where they were knocked out at the group stages, where they had Anderlecht, Chelsea and Liverpool in their group. But under Manuel Pellegrini, they've come on leaps and bounds, and they want to keep building under the Chile manager. Former of Manchester City, as I mentioned, he's won 3 trophies with the Blue Arm Manchester, 1 Premier League back in 2014, and then 2 League Cups as well. He's also won a Spanish Cup with Real Betis as well back in 2022, a couple seasons ago now. So he's already been very successful at Betis, Manuel Pellegrini. And at the age of 70, he will want to try and continue building on his successes after hitting 70 last week. Birthday on the 16th of September, 1953. Kickoff is just under 5 minutes away now, and I'll go through the lineups in a little bit more detail. They are already on screen, but we'll start with the Rangers side, and this is one of 3 new transfers from the summer. And in goal is going to be Jack Butland. Played 10 times already this season within the Scottish Premiership and the Champions League qualifiers, which they unfortunately didn't get through. He's kept 3 clean sheets so far, all of them in the Scottish Premiership. Back 4, which consists of captain James Tavernier, and the 2 centre-backs going to be Connor Galton and Ben Davies, and Borna Barisic at left back. He has not played any minutes in the last 3 for Rangers due to returning from an injury. 2 in midfield is going to be Jose Cifuentes, signed in the summer from LAFC for £1.2 million. They welcome the Ecuadorian who was present for Ecuador at the World Cup just gone in December. And next to him is going to be John Lundstrom, who's joined back in 2021. Got a contract running out at the end of this season. He was monumental in that Rangers campaign when they got to the Europa League final, scored 2 in the run against Dortmund in the playoffs and RB Leipzig in the semi-final second leg. Then just behind the striker, they've got a flat 3 of a right winger of Rabbi Matondo, who's coming on a lot better this season. He's got his first 2 goals for the club this season, one against St Johnstone in their last game, and then one also against PSV in the 2-2 draw at home in the last round of qualifying for the Champions League. And on the left is going to be Abdullah Sima, on loan from Brighton. He was signed for Brighton from Slavia Prague a couple of years ago for £7 million. He's spending the season on loan at Rangers. And in the hole just behind the striker is going to be Tom Lawrence. Struggled a lot of injury last season from September all the way to the end of the season with an Achilles injury. Ruled him out for the season, but he's just been returning. He missed the first 6 of this season with injury, but he's got 3 appearances all in the league, and he got 1 assist in their last game against St Johnstone at the weekend. And then the main man leading the line is Jamaican Kamaru, 30 years of age now. He has got 4 goals in 16 previous Europa League appearances, 3 of them coming in the group stage part of the competition. And the Rangers bench tonight is going to be Kieran Wright, Robbie McCrory, Dujon Sterling, Adam Devine, Leon King, John Suter, Cole McKinnon, Ryan Jack, Scott Wright, Aaron Lyle, Cyril Dessers, and Sam Lammers as well. With the Real Betis lineup, it's going to be Claudio Bravo in goal, 40 years of age now, the former Manchester City and Barcelona goalkeeper. A back 4 of Hector Bellerin, who joined this season on a free from Sporting Lisbon. Next to him is a returnee this season, Mark Bartra, who had signed last season for Trabzonspor, but he's now returned a year later back to Real Betis. Next to him is going to be Germain Petzela, who was part of the Argentina squad that won the World Cup. He actually came on late in the final against France. And at left back is the young Brazilian, 23 years old, Abner. At left back, signed in January of this year for €10 million. 2 holding midfielders of Mark Rocco, who recently was relegated with Leeds. He's on loan at Betis for the season. And next to him is Guido Rodriguez, 29 years of age. The holding midfielder, the Argentine, making his 150th Real Betis appearance tonight. Same system as Rangers, so they're 3 plays behind the striker. On the right is going to be Luis Enrique, signed last season from Fluminense for €8 million. On the left is going to be Abdi Ezalzouli, who was signed this summer from Barcelona for €7.5 million, but Barcelona have inserted a 50% sell-on clause if Real Betis are ever to sell the Moroccan left winger. And in behind, he's been fantastic since joining. He's picked up 4 Man of the Match awards in his first 5 La Liga games, and that is Isco. Joined this summer after being a free agent from December of last year, and he's started with a bang. He's got 1 goal so far, and it came in a 4-2 loss against Atletico Bilbao in game week 3, but he seems to be on fire, and he starts tonight, making his first ever Europa League appearance, because Isco is usually one to be playing in the Champions League, which he had won 5 times at Real Madrid, and he'll be playing in behind the striker, the main man, number 9, Borja Iglesias, joined for €28 million 4 years ago. He had a fantastic season last year in the La Liga, making 15 goals in 35 La Liga appearances, but he didn't start any of the Europa League games last season. He came on 6 times and didn't score, but instead of him starting the Europa League games, it was their backup striker, Willian Jose, who this time, is going to be making his way on the bench. So it is Borja Iglesias to start up front for Real Betis. Their bench is Betis, Garcia, Miranda, Fernandez, Guardado, Rodri, Rubal, Perez, and that's a Jose Perez who's joined on a permanent in the summer on a free after spending the last 6 months here on loan at Betis last season. Asane Diao and Willian Jose, formerly of Wolves for 6 months back in 2021 as an emergency backup for Raul Jimenez. He only got 1 goal in England, and that came against Sheffield United. So again, as last night, after in the commentary where we covered Bayern Munich versus Manchester United, there is a moments of silence for the victims and anyone affected by the Moroccan earthquakes and the floods over in Libya. So all games in Europe, European competition, have held a minute's silence for those affected by the tragedies in Morocco and Libya. But we are close to kick-off here. It's just gone 8 o'clock at Ibrox. They want to forget last season and what happened in the Champions League. They're back on settled ground at home in the Europa League. They've had many special nights in this stadium, in this competition, especially the last time they were in the competition in the 2021-2022 season when they went to the final, were unfortunately beaten, but they'll want to try and replicate a similar run this time out. Under Michael Beale, he's now been at the club since November of last year. It's his first full season. They've had a bit of a rocky start in the league. They were unfortunately knocked out of the Champions League qualifying rounds in the last hurdle to PSV. But now they can redeem themselves. It's redemption time at Ibrox. It's Rangers against Betis. It'll be Betis to kick off, kicking left to right. Rangers right to left. As we're waiting for the referee's whistle, and play has started in Scotland with Betis starting with the kick-off. On the halfway line, it's Ezal Zuli on the ball here, getting away from James Tavernier, crossing the halfway line and being fed down the left, looking for a return from Isco, but it's just been overhit by the former Real Madrid attacking midfielder. And it'll be a throw-in for Rangers inside their own half. Getting the timer underway for you guys. There we go. Thrown up towards Matondo. He loses out and it's played forward towards Enrique for Betis in the centre circle. He loses out to Barisic and it'll be cleared down the left channel by Ben Davies. And it's headed out by Petzela for Betis, beating Matondo to the ball as Petzela, the centre half, is going to be captain tonight for the Spanish side. Coming back into the starting 11 as he was benched at the weekend against Barcelona, where Betis' last game was away at Barcelona, where they were beaten 5-0. 5 different scorers: João Felix, Lewandowski, Ferran Torres, Rafinha and João Cancelo were the scorers. And we're just over a minute in. And there'll be a Betis throw-in. It's Hector Bellerin. Throws it back to Petzela. Bellerin again facing towards his own goal. Goes inside and it's a foul given there on Marc Roca, who played the ball inside there by Bellerin. And as he was trying to shift it back towards his own goal, he was just barged in the back, and the referee saw it as an illegal foul. A free kick's been given to the Spanish side, who did finish 6th last season, which got them the spot in the Europa League, finishing on 60 points. As Claudio Bravo takes the free kick, looking for a switch out to the left. It's cut out by James Tavernier, midway inside his own half, plays it forward towards Seema, who's battling with the ball, but he loses out to Marc Roca, who dinks it over the top down the left-hand side, where Iglesias will give chase to Betis striker, but he can't get it beyond Ben Davies, the Rangers centre-half. No audio, low level. I'll turn it up for you. Turn it up a little bit. Hopefully that's better for you. As a pass has been intercepted by Rodriguez and Lundstrom loses out. Enrique 1-2 with Isco, then gets it back into Isco, then gets the return again. Lets Bellerin take over. And then he finds him in the box. Bellerin makes a run, charging inside, and It's Cifuentes, the Rangers central midfielder, getting back, doing his defensive work, and tapping the ball out for a corner. Really good link-up play there between Isco and Enrique. I think Bellerin was just offside there, possibly, as the ball was played through, but the flag didn't go up. And it'll be a corner kick for Betis. It's the first of the night for either side. It'll be an outswinger towards the near post. It bounces. It's met by Kamar Roof, but it's back out to the corner taker, Isco. It's a flashed one across goal, and it's gone all the way through. And that is a wicked ball, that from Isco. And it was screaming for someone to get on the end of it. It's a whip one, and it's gone right across the 6-yard box. And it's Mark Bartra who threw himself at it, the Betis centre-half. And it just went beyond him as there was so much pace on the cross. That's the first half chance, 3.5 minutes in. It's thrown down the line by Tavernier. Kamar Roof, it came off last, so it'll be a Betis throw-in midway inside the Rangers half. Throwing taken. Iglesias. Poor touch by the Betis striker. It falls to Cifuentes. Cleared up the field by Davies, and it will fall to Kamar Roof. Plays a ball in behind for Matondo. He's got the pace on Bellerin. He's in behind. On the edge of the box, he shoots. It's well saved by Claudio Bravo. And it's collected by the Chile goalkeeper. Really, really good ball from Kamar Roof as he got it from the Ben Davies clearance. It was just inside his own half. It was a ball through the gap between Petzela and Hector Bellerin. And it was Matondo to charge onto it. And he took it a little bit early on the edge of the box and didn't find the corner. It was an easy save in the end for Claudio Bravo. He tried to open up the body and send it to the far right corner, but it was quite a central shot in the end by Matondo. But it's a positive start from Rangers. That's the first big chance of the game under 5 minutes in. Really good link-up play there by Kamar Roof, finding the winger in behind. Betis have a throw-in into Iglesias. Loses it again with a poor touch. Cifuentes ball forward just beyond Kamar Roof and cleared up the field by Petzela. Overhit towards Iglesias. And it will be collected by Jack Butland, who rolls out to the edge of the box to Lundstrom. Plays it into Cifuentes on the Rangers' right. Tavernier back to the edge of the box once again to Connor Goldson this time. Now finds Jack Butland, formerly of Crystal Palace, where he was signed from. Did spend the back end of last season on loan at Manchester United. There's a backup goalkeeper. Now he's got a new home at Rangers. He's on the ball still in his 18-yard box. Sends it out to the left. It's a curling ball out to Barisic. Chests it down and plays it into Davies in the left back area. Left-footed clearance up towards halfway towards Kamar Roof over his head. So it'll roll through to Mark Bartra at the back for Betis. And it's the Spanish side on the ball, with Claudio Bravo in his own box, now at 40 years of age. Betis number 1. Out to Abner, the left back. 10 yards away from the Rangers half, goes inside to Isco and gets the return. Good play here. Isco linking up nicely with the 2 Brazilians in the Betis squad. It's now back with Isco. On halfway, lays it off into Roca. Now back to Bartra, midway inside his own half. Across it goes to German Petzela. Back out to Bartra. Was at Betis for 4 years before going to Turkey last year. But then he's re-signed for Betis, and his long ball over the top down the channel has been not kept in there by Abdi Ezalzouli. One former Barcelona player to another. It was a ball down the left channel. It was just a little bit overhit, so it ran out for a goal kick in the end. But showed some decent pace there, Abdi Ezalzouli. As Rangers can start again from the back in their own 18-yard box with Goldson. Look to the right and he finds Tavernier. Forward 15 yards looking for Seema. Can't keep it away from Ezalzouli. And Betis are on the ball midway inside the Rangers half. So Rodriguez forward towards Isco, cut out by Cifuentes. And he plays out to left back Barisic deep inside his own half. Has to go across to Davies, formerly of Liverpool, signed from Liverpool last summer for £4 million. Goldson to Tavernier, midway inside his own half still on the far right hand side. Plays it forward into the Betis half, finding Seema. Brought to the ground by Abner. Can't get away from the Brazilian left back. And it'll be a throw-in for Betis, just inside their own half. It came off the Brighton low knee last. Abdullah Seema. Isco receives the throw-in. Back to Abner. Lifted ball up towards Iglesias, but the Betis striker was coming back for an offside position. So he has to let the ball roll right through towards Jack Butland in the Rangers goal. It's now Galton at right centre-back. Big ball forward, over the top. He's looking for Seema. It'll be swept up by the head of Mark Bartra and then helped away by Abner. It's not a very convincing clearance. Still in the Betis half with Cifuentes. Down the line it goes to Lawrence. Gets it inside towards Tavernier. It's a lifted ball. He can't take it under control. It's now helped forward by Mark Bartra towards Iglesias. Headed away though by Ben Davies. Down to Cifuentes, who keeps the ball moving back to Davies. And out to left back. Barisic. Again, another ball looking over the top. It's a header won by Bellerin. It's helped forward by Rodriguez. Deflects off Lundstrom and back off a Betis man for a Rangers throw-in again towards the halfway line. Barisic throws it inside to Cifuentes. Got time on the ball here. The Ecuadorian gets it out to Matondo. Back to Barisic. To Matondo again. Forced to play it out of play there, Matondo. Challenged in the back, but nothing strong enough for a free kick, so gives away the throw in there. It'll be Betis to have the ball. Just over 9 minutes in. Bellerin with a throw. Big throw towards their striker, Iglesias, who chests it down to Isco. Knocked down in the back, and that'll be a free kick for the Spanish side. Lundstrom, the offender. He's got his body in front of man and ball there, Isco, and allowed the challenge from Lundstrom and won the free kick on the Betis right, taken short by Isco, and he gets the return from Rodriguez. Tries to find Enrique on the far right hand side, but it deflects out for a Betis throw-in as they get closer towards the Rangers goal. The former Arsenal man Hector Bellerin to take. Completes a 1-2 with Isco and tries to get the return, but Isco has it after a heavy touch from Matondo. But I think Matondo was tripped as he took the heavy touch, so it will be a free kick for Rangers. In the left-back area, taken by Davies across into the 18-yard box of Lundstrom, who's just sitting in between the two centre-backs currently. And he gets it out to the right centre-back, Goldson. Tries to get it forward towards Seema. Cut out beautifully by Rocker on halfway. And he finds Ezalzuli, who's one-on-one with Cifuentes, goes around the outside of the Ecuadorian, bursting in towards the box. He's pulled down on the edge, but the referee doesn't see it as a foul. And play has stopped for a Rangers throw-in, as Tavernier was tackled strongly by Mark Rocker. Ezalzuli going around Cifuentes, driving inside, and just fell to the ground well too easily there. Well given decision there by the referee tonight, Lawrence Visser, the Belgian. Throwing down the line, helped on by Roof inside, looking for Matondo, who helps it over the top. Mark Bartra has to try and deal with it, but it's Roof to win it again, heads it forward towards Lawrence. It's got there by Petzela, who goes back towards Claudio Bravo, who slices with his left foot, and Petzela fails to clear, so it's a throw-in for the Gers, right towards the corner flag. On the Rangers' right. Not very convincing there from Claudio Bravo. As Kamal Roof was chasing down the header, and so was Tom Lawrence. And it forces the mistake from Real Betis. Throws it into Lawrence. Gets the ball back to Tavernier. He's been tackled off the ball by Ezalzuli, and it will drop to Isco, who's dispossessed by Lundstrom, but his tackle goes on as far as Rocker. Out to the left now to Iglesias, who's been caught in the face on halfway by Tavernier, and that'll be a free kick for Betis. Holding up the ball on the left-hand side, tried to go away from Tavernier. He's not even been caught in the face. He's been caught on the chest, and he's gone down holding his face there. Borja Iglesias. It's just a little bit embarrassing, really. But he wins inside the free kick, and it's taken with a big switch out towards Enrique, cut out by the head of Barisic, and he concedes the throw-in midway inside his own half, and it'll be Hector Bellerin to take. Throws it into Isco, pokes it out to Enrique. One-on-one with, I think that's Barisic, goes around him and Lundstrom towards the byline. Right-footed, lifted ball in, headed to the edge of the box by Cifuentes, and he falls to Rocker. Abner, the left-back, lifted ball in towards the 6-yard box, headed away by Barisic, but back to where it came from. Tavernier helps away, and helped on again by Seema. Can't be collected by Roof, but he's forced a rushed clearance from Bartra, so it'll be a throw-in for Rangers inside their own half. It's dropped to Lawrence. Headed forward by Cifuentes. Gets the return with the head from Lundstrom. That's now with Barisic. Out to the far left to Matondo. Heavy touch inside. It allows the tackle from Rodriguez. And Betis can come forward again. Midway inside the Rangers half. It's Enrique on the Betis right. Gets the pass away from Matondo. It's now Bellerin. Back to Rodriguez. Forward to Isco. Trying to work his magic. And he works out to the left now to Bartra. He's got Abner in support. Furthest left. But he goes to Isco instead. He then works a pass out to Abner. The left back. He'll get there and just about keep it in towards the corner flag. Crosses it towards the near post. Volleyed away by Goldson. It'll be retrieved by Isco. Plays the ball forward to Ezal Zuli, who completes the 1-2, finds Isco again on the edge, dinks it in the box, and he can't find Enrique. Header won by Barisic, headed the wrong way though by Matondo, and chested down by Enrique. So Rodriguez out to Bellerin. In the final third for Betis, chops onto his left side, then plays it back as he's uncomfortable on that weaker left side to Rodriguez. Iglesias, 1-2, back to Rodriguez, ball across the box, and it's had to be rushed behind by Goldson for a Betis corner. Despite Rangers probably having the best chance so far through Matondo, Betis have definitely been the most settled side in possession, and it's Isco really who's dictating the play. You can just see the quality he has and why he has previously been playing under the likes of Zidane and Ancelotti when at Real Madrid previously. As the outswinger in from Isco, header won, I think, by Sima, but falls to the edge of the box for Betis with Abner the left back. Finds his partner on the left hand side, Ezal Zuli. Try to get himself away from Cifuentes. He tries to take on the Ecuadorian. He gets around the Ecuadorian but can't take it past Tom Lawrence. It'll be a throw in for Betis, still deep inside the Rangers half, so they'll still pile on the pressure here just under 15 minutes in. Great start from the Spanish side. We've got off to a half-decent start themselves. 2 wins and 2 losses and a draw in the league. 2 wins coming against Villarreal and Rayo Vallecano. Throw in to Iglesias. Gets it back here to Ezal Zuli. And from afar, he decides to strike, and it's a comfortable save for Jack Butland. And he'll try and distribute quickly towards Kamar Roof in the Betis half, chasing down against Mark Bartra. Accidentally clips him, and Bartra's gone down in pain. He's asking for the medical team to come on. Seems like Bartra is in some discomfort here. Jack Butland distributed quickly. And as Roof was chasing down the ball, I think he just trodden on the Achilles of Bartra by accident. And the former Barcelona centre-back is down in pain. But a good start for Betis. Who went unbeaten last season in their Europa League group. 5 wins and a draw. Finishing above Roma, who ended up getting to the Europa League final, but being beaten by Sevilla. So back underway, Bartra's okay. Bravo sends it up towards Ezal Zuli, who's gone down holding his head after an aerial challenge with Ben Davies. And the place had to be stopped here as Ezal Zuli has stayed down. Medical attention is needed. So Mark Bartra was okay, but now they've got another man down here. Let's see if he was caught on the head here. Ben Davies went up for it, and just a slight clash of heads. Just headed the back of Ezal Zuli's head. So he's rightfully down. Will be a bit of a sore one, but I'm sure he'll be okay to carry on. Abde Ezal Zuli, who's part of the Morocco squad, who got to the World Cup semi-final, though at the age of 21. Played 14 times for Barcelona and scored once in December of 2021. He's making his first ever appearance in a European competition. This little break does give Michael Beale some chances to talk and pass on some instructions to his side, and Manuel Pellegrini will do the same. A few seasons ago, Real Betis met with Celtic in the Europa League group stages, and they won one and they lost one. Played in September and December. And Betis won their home game 4-3, but were beaten 3-2 away from home. As we're back underway, Ezal Zuli, I think, is just off the field for now. Davies, high ball over the top, looking for Matondo, chested down by Bellerin towards the edge of the 18-yard box, and he gets it to Rocco. Back to Bartra, hurries a clearance away, loops in the sky, and Enrique will battle with Lundstrom. He'll drop towards Isco, Shoved in the back by Davies. It'll be a free kick for Betis on their right-hand side, just inside their own half. But there was an offside anyway, actually, given instead for Rangers. So it'll be a Rangers free kick in their own half. That's now with Lundstrom. Cifuentes gets the return to Lundstrom. Plays a ball looking for Lawrence. It's a short one. It's picked up by Rodriguez. It's now Isco on halfway. Turning himself away from Cifuentes. And it's played back now to German Petzela. Formerly a River Plate player when he was playing in Argentina. Bellerin. Lifted ball. Looking over the top for Enrique. It bounces forward into the box, but he can't quite get beyond Borna Barisic, and the ball will fall into the gloves of Jack Butland. Last time Butland had made an England squad was back in June of 2019. He was always called up as a backup to Joe Hart, but times have changed now. That was 4 years ago, and now both Butland and Hart play in Scotland for the two big clubs, Celtic, where Joe Hart is. Poor ball out towards Matondo on the left. It goes for a Betis throw-in on halfway. Need to sharpen up on the passing, Rangers, if they want anything out of this game. Long throw in from Bellerin up towards their target man, Iglesias. Header won by Davies, and it's headed back out for another throw in for Betis. Further into the Rangers half. Betis throws it into Iglesias again, who chests it down and plays it back to Bellerin, who completes a 1-2 with Rodriguez. And he played across now to Mark Bartra, out to Abner, the left back, midway inside the Rangers half. Ball forward into Ezal Zuli, who's back on the field after receiving treatment. Finds Abner on the edge of the box, back through to Ezal Zuli, who's in the box, on the byline. Can he pull it back? He attempts to. And Goldson wins the goal kick. Goldson, big slide challenge to stop the cross. And it deflected off Goldson. It went back off of Ezal Zuli for a goal kick. Well won there by Goldson. Here he is, Goldson from the goal kick. Lift the ball up towards halfway, looking for Kamar Roof. He chests it down, but he can't find Seema. And it's cleared up the field for Betis, but drops only as far as Davies. He plays it out to left back, Barisic in the Rangers half. It's another ball down the left channel. It's a higher one up towards Matondo. Loses it to Bellerin. Hooked on by Rodriguez. Cut out by Barisic. Just inside his own half as he keeps possession ticking with Davies. Completes a 1-2 with Lawrence. Now Davies again. Out to left back, Barisic. Closed down by Henrique. And he deflects Barisic's pass into Rodriguez, who's bundled down to the ground. But the referee doesn't give a free kick, but he's able to kick it back towards Bellerin. So Betis keep possession. And all the way back to Claudio Bravo on the edge of his own box here. The Real Betis goalkeeper. Looking for a switch out to the left. To Abner, who heads it forward to Ezal Zuli. And helps on once more to Iglesias. And will return it to the Moroccan. Here he is in the box. Can he strike? He will! And it's parried by Butland across in the 6-yard box. And it's cleared by Barisic. Up towards Matondo, who finds Roof. But he's tackled strongly by Petzela. And it's Betis again with the possession. Close chance there for Ezal Zuli from the left. Entering the box from the pass. And it was parried by Butland. Probably should have kept hold of it. Caused a bit of havoc in the box, but it was cleared eventually. But Betis will try and come again. With Abner, the left back. Ball forward. Great ball to Rocker. Inside to Iglesias. Holding it up against Davies. But he's been given a free kick. And Iglesias kicks the ball away as Rangers want to take it quickly. And the referee won't give a yellow. Iglesias, as he was holding the ball up, he was just pulling the shirt of, I think it was Goldson. So a free kick was given against him. But as Ezal Zuli was fed in behind there, he was onside. It wasn't the greatest of shots across goal, and Butland should really be keeping hold of that one, but he saved it nonetheless, and it was cleared, so Rangers survive. As they restart with possession with Jack Butland. Big ball forward up towards Matondo. On the edge of the box, it drops to him as it deflects off Petzela. Matondo on the left-hand side of the box. He's tackled for a corner. They do like their high, long balls up the field, Rangers, and that one was from Jack Butland. And it dropped to Matondo as it deflects off Petzela, who was having a little bit of the grab of the shirt there from Matondo, but he was able to tackle him off the ball for a corner. Corner for Rangers. Can they make it count? You must say Betis has been the better side, but No reason why Rangers can't score from this corner. Golson's up there. Seamer's in front of him. Davies is there supporting as well. Tavernier with an in-swinger. Plays it short to Matondo. Back out to Tavernier on the angle. Plays it across the box. Finds Lawrence. Pokes it looking in behind for Matondo, but it's cut out by Iglesias, the striker. And it'll be cleared by Abner. Not convincingly along the ground. And it'll be Tavernier to play back to the halfway to Cifuentes. Works it out to the right-hand side. And here is Abdelacima. Running at Abner, the left back. And loses out to Abner. And it's now a ball inside by Isco to Rocker. Forward to Ezalzouli, who will pick it up on halfway. And laid off to his left to Isco, who will drive inside away from Lawrence. Well, he nearly got away from Lawrence, but he was chopped down instead by the former Derby man. It'll be a free kick for Betis. Bit of a cynical one there from Tom Lawrence, as I mentioned in the pre-match build-up, returning this season after a long time out with an Achilles injury. It's a free kick eventually has been given against Bellerin on the Betis right. Couldn't quite see what was the foul because the cameras weren't on the game, but we'll have a look here. Just pushing the back on Matondo. So free kick against Bellerin, and it would be Rangers to now have the ball in the centre circle with Cifuentes. One of the two holding midfielders. He's playing alongside Lundstrom tonight. Ball forward by Tavernier into Seamer. Cifuentes, first time ball down the right channel, looking in behind and in the box, but it's too overhit, sorry. And Tavernier can't get on the end of that. And it'll restart with Bravo in the Betis goal. Just under 25 minutes in. One big chance for Rangers. Through Matondo. 3 minutes in. Betis have come close about 5 minutes ago with Ezalzouli. But it was saved by Butland as Lawrence plays it in behind in the box. It's a lifted ball looking for Abdelacima. But Bravo's off his line quickly. And there'll be a ball for Betis, which is distributed out to the left to Isco. Midway inside his own half. He's moving himself away from Tavernier and he's able to shift it to right centre half Petzela. Plays it forward to Enrique on halfway. Matondo standing him up, so plays it inside to Rodriguez. Across to his central midfield partner Rocker. Out to the far left hand side now Ezalzouli. He's got everything to his right. The Betis number 7 goes on the outside of Seamer. Tries the cross, which is deflected in towards the 6-yard area, which is cleared by Galton. Out for a throw in for Betis. It'll be taken by Brazilian left-back Abner, who signed a contract in January until the summer of 2029. He was the replacement for Alex Moreno, who went and joined Unai Emery at Aston Villa. Thrown in the box, headed away by Cifuentes to the edge of the box where it's helped on by Tom Lawrence. And then as Kamaru tries to hold it up, he's been told to get up. He tried to hold it up and he was pulled to the ground, but the referee saw it as too weak of a challenge, so Betis have the ball. Rocker, Abner, back into his own half with a pass to Bartra. He will drive forward in the centre circle and just play it back to Petzela on halfway. It's now Rocker. Forward and out to the left to Isco, just drifting into the wide pockets. The former Real Madrid player. It's now Ezalzouli. Right-footed in-swinging cross, headed away by Barisic on the penalty spot and picked up by Seamer. And he plays it forward into Kamaru, who enters the Betis half. He tries a shot from a far out. Try to catch out Claudio Bravo, but there was no height on the strike. And it's touched down by Bravo. No need for the use of the hands. He just touches it out in front of him with his right foot. A bit of a waste there from Kamaru. He needs to hold it up better there, but he saw a strike. And a few seasons ago, he did score from his own half, having a strike from afar. Kamaru, one of his 4 Europa League goals he scored. And Sparta Prague have taken a 2-1 lead in the other game in this group. They've got Sparta Prague and Aris Limassol. And Sparta Prague have just taken a 2-1 lead, as we're still 0-0 in this game. Betis better and more confident on the ball. Rangers need to relax a little bit, show what they can do on the ball. It's Abner, the Brazilian left-back, with a throw-in. Into the Rangers half with the throw. Down the left channel. Galton battling with Iglesias. And Iglesias will get there first and play a ball inside, but it's straight to John Lundstrom. And he'll play it into the 18-yard box to Davies, the centre-back. Ball forward into Matondo. He's got his back to the Betis goal, but he's allowed to turn forward and distribute out towards the Rangers right, but it's a sloppy pass. Intercepted on the halfway line by Abner on the Betis left. It's played inside to Rocker. Out to the right-hand side to Enrique. Scored away from home against Roma in the group stages last season. He plays it through to Bellerin. Chops inside in the box. Plays it across to the edge of the box to Isco. Shoots off balance. And over the bar it goes. Half chance for Betis. It was well worked out on the right-hand side. With Enrique finding the pass inside to Bellerin, who got forward from full-back. He chopped beyond Matondo and played it to the edge of the box to Isco, who wanted to take it on first time, but he was just a tad off balance. And as he struck, he fell to the ground and just didn't quite catch the strike. But from the goal kick, they've already won it back. It's now with Betis. With a switch out to the right, Bellerin galloping forward. Can he keep it in? He does. With a lifted ball in the box. It's in the sky. It's a header won on the edge by Goldson. And it'll be Lawrence to give chase to it. But it'll be Rodriguez to get there first. And he played back to Bartra, the centre-back, who goes forward to Rocker in the centre circle. Then back on halfway to Rodriguez. And then back once more to Petzela. And Betis again. Back in possession again. Rangers are struggling. They've not really settled down so far tonight. It's a little bit erratic from the Gers. Isco in a left-back position. Plays the ball forward deep. And in behind, and it's overhit, and no one's there to chase it for Betis, and it rolls into the hands of Jack Butland, who rolls out quickly himself to Ben Davies, who lays it off into Lundstrom, just inside his own half. He brings it forward, looking towards the right, goes against the option of the right-hand side, then goes to the left to Davies. He'll drive forward from centre-back and lay it off to his left to Lawrence, who's just pulled out to the left-hand side here. He's got Barisic making a run ahead of him. He strides forward here, Lawrence, tackled though from behind by Rodriguez. Great challenge from the Argentine, and he can set away Enrique on the right. He's got Iglesias in support. He'll play it to the striker. He slows play down and goes inside himself to Rocker. Looks for a ball in behind Ez Alzuli. He finds him in the box, chest down, shoots the Moroccan, and again over the bar. Found way too easily there, and he was onside. He'd gone in behind Connor Goldson as he made a run away from Tavernier. Goldson had pushed forward, marking Isco, and Tavernier had lost his man of Ez Alzuli. And as he struck just on the edge of the box, it was always rising over the crossbar. But many danger signs being shown here to Rangers. They need to try and sort out their defensive structure, being pulled apart by runs from the likes of Isco and Ez Alzuli and Enrique. Davies inside to Lundstrom. First time, ball forward to Kamaru on halfway. Now Lawrence out to the left and forward to Matondo. In the final third, 1-on-1 with Bellerin. Tries an early cross with the left foot. Deflects off the Spanish right back, and it will be a corner kick for Rangers. They look a little bit of a threat when they're getting forward, Rangers, especially with Seamer on the right and Matondo on the left. He didn't quite fancy trying to take on Bellerin there, Matondo, so just crossed it against him for a corner. Thanks to everyone who's here. If you could like and subscribe, that would be fantastic. Another commentary coming up on Saturday. Burnley welcoming travelling Manchester United at 8 o'clock. But for now, we've had 2 corners apiece. Still 0-0 in the game. The usual suspects are in the box. The likes of Ben Davies and Connor Goldson and Abdullah Seamer. Being in swinger from Tavernier. Towards the far post, towards Ben Davies. It's headed away from him by Mark Bartra. And it will be a corner kick for Rangers on the opposite side. It was a header well won by Mark Bartra, who's making appearance number 148 for Betis, closing in on 150 for the club after a 4-year stint previously, before having a year away from the club, going to Turkey with Trabzonspor. It's only his second appearance of the season as well. Mark Bartra, back-to-back appearances. He played the full 90 against Barcelona at the weekend. It's an in-swinger from Bartra, from Barisic, sorry. Helped away to the far post of Lawrence. 1-2 with Lundstrom. Lawrence in the left wing position. Goes back instead, though, towards his own goal to Cifuentes, who crosses it and recycles it himself into the box. But that's a shocking ball. No one making a run into for it. And he'll go right behind for a Betis goal kick. Claudio Bravo to take this goal kick. Champions League winner himself in 2016 with Barcelona, and he has a good record against Manchester United when he played in those derbies for Manchester City, winning his 2 games against United at Old Trafford. It's very much a veteran at the age of 40 as his goal kick goes high up the pitch towards Iglesias, headed down though by Rodriguez to Isco. Ball forward to Ez Alzuli, who's drifted from the left wing to the right hand side, links up with right winger Enrique, who's on the ball now, cuts onto his left foot, crosses it low, And he ducks down Cifuentes to head behind for a corner. Looks dangerous, the two wingers they've got. Real Betis, quite young as well. The Moroccan Ezalzouli, 21. And Luis Enrique, 22, the Brazilian on the right-hand side. Isco, outswinger, near post. It's won by Tavernier, but goes back out to Isco, who plays it short to Roca, who's twisting, turning, tackled by Roof. He gets a last touch off Roca, and it'll be a throw-in for Rangers. Well won there by Kamar Roof, number 25. That's the one goal so far this season. Kamar Roof, in the third game of the league season against Ross County, he's now started the last 4 games for Rangers, as Barisic lifts it down the left channel. But out it goes for a Betis throw-in. Poor that from Barisic. Usually better than that, the Croatian, who does have a contract expiring at the end of the season. Borna Barisic making his 209th appearance for the club, joined back in 2018 in the summer, as Enrique has it for Betis. In the final third now, he's going up one-on-one against Barisic, goes on the outside, stops his run, leaves the box. He's got Bellerin in support. He'll knock it to the number 2, then goes inside to Rodriguez, and he goes back towards halfway line to Petzela. Something Betis aren't afraid to do. Go back and restart again if they feel like the opening isn't coming up. Abner gets it away from Seema and tries to find Isco inside, but it's cut out by Cifuentes. It's now Seema on the ball. Gets the ball stuck under his feet and he loses out momentarily, but he's able to poke it to Tavernier, who gets it to Cifuentes, who's then intercepted by Roca. Ezalzouli on the left, enters the box, strikes it across goal, and it just goes behind for a goal kick. No deflection on it. It had beaten Butland. Cifuentes just lost it there to Roca, tackled from behind. He poked it forward to Ezalzouli, who's running at Goldson, and took it on his left side, and he shot across goal. And here's the angle to see if there was any deflection. Shot with the left foot. Didn't come off Goldson, and it definitely came off Butland. Great save, should be a corner. That was heading for the top right corner there. But Butland got a hand to it and saved it, but it's not been given as a corner. But that's a really strong save there from the Rangers number 1, who currently has the ball with his feet. Iglesias is pressing him, but he clips it out to the Rangers right, looking for Seema, over his head and Abner, and out for a throw-in for Betis. Tavernier. Goldson across to Davies as Rangers will build from the back. With Butland. Before the weekend, Rangers had gone 2 games in a row with a loss, losing quite convincingly away at PSV, 5-1, and then to Celtic at home, but they're back on track after beating St Johnstone away 2-0 at the weekend. But they're not quite on track in this game. They're just not quite connecting as a team so far. They don't look quite as smooth when playing their game. As we've just got 9 minutes till half time. It's Betis on the ball on the edge of the box with Bravo. He's going to look to play it across to the left to Mark Bartra. Drive forward with the ball, then lay it off to left back Abner, who goes backwards himself to Claudio Bravo. Rodriguez just dropped in between the 2 centre-backs to hold the midfielder, and we'll play it to German Petzela. Forward to Roca. Back he goes to Rodriguez, who just has to slam the ball forward into the Rangers half. A header won by Davies, heads it forward to Cifuentes, who gets away from Roca and plays it out to the left now to Lawrence. Forces him wide towards the corner flag, but he does keep it in. He's got support of Matondo and he'll use him. He will cross it, deflected into the air towards Seema. It's punched away by Bravo to the edge of the box, brought down by Tavernier. Touches it down for Lundstrom. Works it out to the left to Barisic. It's now Matondo. Furthest left for Rangers, everything to his right. He goes back to Lawrence, low ball into the box, cleared by Petzela. Up to halfway where it's recovered and recycled by Davies to Butland as he's been chased there by Iglesias. Lawrence, pass intercepted by Enrique, but it drops back to him, and then the intercepted pass again goes out for a throw-in. So it'll be a Ranger throwing just inside their own halfway with Barisic on the near side in front of the Rangers' technical area. Doesn't know where to throw it. Barisic he eventually does down the line. Towards Matondo, touches it onto Roof, who's joined him on the left-hand side. Everything to his right here, Roof. Left-footed ball, and it's a lifted one all the way through the box. Drops to Tavernier, who gets forward from right back, crosses it himself. Seamer tries an acrobatic attempt, but it's intercepted by Bartra. Falls only as far as Cifuentes, though, on the far right-hand side. Completes a 1-2 with Tavernier, then plays down the line himself to Seamer. Out of the box to Tavernier, who tries to cross, and it's blocked by Bartra, who takes it in the precious area of the male body. And it goes for a Rangers throw-in. But Bartra just needs a bit of time to get back to his feet. Still down here, Bartra. Definitely taking one for the team here, you could say. Was knocked out, Mark Bartra, of the Europa League himself with Trabzonspor. And they were put into the Europa Conference League where they were knocked out in the playoff stages. But he's having to get some help here from the Betis medical staff. I've taken one where it hurts the most. Michael Beale discussing with his coaching staff. He'll have the likes of, he'll be talking to the likes of Neil Banfield and Damien Matthew, who are his assistants at Rangers. Bartra back to his feet. He's just off the field for now, as Tavernier has the throw-in. The Rangers captain. He'll throw it backwards towards his own goal to Galton. He goes across to Davies, who's just in front of the centre circle in the Betis half. Forward to Matondo. Lays it off into Lundstrom, who will look out to the left-hand side, and they'll find Barisic. Goes for a cross. It's a curling one towards Kamar Roof. It misses him. Falls to Seamer. And 6 yards out, he swings a foot at it. Doesn't connect nicely, so it's an easy catch for Bravo. Crossed it quickly, Barisic. Roof had missed the header, and it dropped to Seamer. And as it was bouncing, he just tried to flick a foot at it. And he did, but he didn't get a good connection. And an easy save in the end for Bravo. But Rangers have won it straight back in their own half with Cifuentes. Lawrence's pass is touched away from Davies by Iglesias. But it does drop to Davies, and then Lundstrom, long ball over the top, and it's cut out very nicely by a slide challenge from Hector Bellerin. Nearly found the ball in behind there. Barisic takes the throw in quickly into Lundstrom, about 40 yards away from goal, so Rangers have got some work to do. Cifuentes with a ball forward to Lawrence, back to Lundstrom, and across he goes to the right to Galton, exactly on halfway. Just touches it forward to Cifuentes. Ball out to the right to Seamer. Out to Tavernier. Across it goes, and it's a teasing ball, but no one in blues there. It had missed Roof. I think Matondo was trying to get on the end of it at the far post, but wasn't quick enough to get there. Put it in first time as well, Tavernier. Matondo was nowhere near it. I just don't think he quite anticipated the ball going in so early there, Matondo. So, didn't quite commit himself enough to get there. So, it'll be a Betis goal kick. For Claudio Bravo to take. And with his right foot, he sends it to the Betis right-hand side, where Iglesias will lose the header to Davies, and then Lawrence helps it down with Cifuentes, who heads it forward in the end towards Kamar Roof on the left, flicks it inside, but cleared by Hector Bellerin. And it's brought down by Enrique, touched away from him by Lundstrom, and it'll be taken over now by Barisic, who's drifting towards the right-hand side, but chops back on towards the left and lays it out to Lawrence. Goes inside from afar, fakes one shot, goes back, taking on plenty of Betis men, but maybe one too many as he's tackled on the edge of the box, and it's cleared by the Spanish side, where Davies will get there first ahead of Iglesias. So now we see Fuentes in the centre circle. Curls the ball out to the right to Tavernier, who likes to get forward. Midway inside the Betis half, tries to play it inside towards Seamer. Deflects off Ezalzuli. And it'll be a throw-in for Rangers towards the final third. He throws it back to Cifuentes, who wants an early cross, and he'll put that cross in. It's too heavy hit. Bounces in the 6-yard box and away for a throw-in for Betis, right on the corner flag. So Rangers can push forward here. Try and box them in this corner. Decent little run though a minute ago from Lawrence going inside and outside and getting away from Rodriguez, but he was eventually tackled by Bartra, who seems to have recovered from the little hit he got in the private parts with the football. Still 0-0. 2 minutes to go. Bellerin with long throwing down the line. Helped on by Isco. And it'll be a ball that drops to the feet of Lundstrom on halfway. Dalton forward to Cifuentes. Finds Lundstrom. It's a poor touch given to Isco, who will get it forward to Iglesias. And now works out to the left Isco as he gets the return to Ezalzouli. Plays it forward to Abner. Tries to take it on the inside and plays it backwards instead to Bartra. Drives forward into the Rangers half and tries to find a ball in behind for Abner. And he does find the full-back, who will get a lifted cross in, which is deflected into the hands of Jack Butland. And Rangers can breathe a sigh of relief as Butland rolls it out quickly into Tavernier at right back. Goes to his left to Cifuentes, looking over the top with a big switch out to the left, and he finds Matondo. Great touch as well. Taking on Bellerin, goes on the inside, gets away from Bellerin, but then is tackled strongly by Rodriguez, and Betis get it forward to Isco. Back inside to Bellerin in a midfield position. He hits a heavy touch and he's tackled by Lundstrom. And Rangers can go forward with a ball out to the left to Matondo. He's got Barisic overlapping in the final third. He'll take an early shot on himself instead, and it's always curling away from goal. Wild strike from the left-hand side because he was about 30 yards out there, Matondo, so it would have took a hell of a strike to get beyond Claudio Bravo. Don't quite think Kamar Roof is happy with the attempted strike from Matondo. Just sliced the ball, and away it goes for a goal kick. The last time Rangers finished first in the Europa League was in the 2020-2021 season, ahead of Benfica, not losing a single game in that group stage campaign. They were unfortunately knocked out at the round of 16 though by Slavia Prague. As Petzela clears for Betis. It's a slice one out to the right hand side where Bellerin keeps it in, playing it forward to Enrique. Brought down from behind by Barisic, but no free kick given, so it'll be a throw-in for Rangers on halfway. As we've hit the 45th minute, and there will be, not sure how long added, 2 minutes of additional time added on. Galton out to right back Tavernier, still inside his own half where he's been dispossessed. Ezalzouli try to take on Tavernier as he attempts to recover from losing the ball. He still has it, the Moroccan. Goes on the inside, crosses it low, header won by Goldson, and he heads out to the edge of the box where Lawrence will give chase, and he'll get there ahead of Rodriguez. And tries a 1-2 with Matondo, and it comes off nicely, and he relays it back into Matondo, who races into the Betis half, driving on the inside from the left, playing a ball forward to Seema, on once more to Roof on the edge of the box. It's played just behind him, and he keeps it alive as the flag stays down. Matondo again, 25 yards out, shifts it to his right to Cifuentes. Betis have got many back now, as it's out to the right to Seema. Low ball in towards the penalty spot, cleared by Petzela, and helped on by Roca. And he'll look for Iglesias. He can't win it ahead of Connor Goldson. And from a minute ago, Rangers looking the most dangerous side. Lundstrom plays it into Lawrence. Dinks it out to the right in the box to Seema, plays it across, and it's Bartra in the 6-yard box to clear. With the left foot, it'll roll out towards the Betis left-back position, where they can bring it forward through Roca. Switch out to the right, finds Enrique. Loads of room for the Brazilian to run into as he enters the Rangers half. Towards the final third now. Try to take it on the inside with a pass through to Iglesias. Back to goal, so Ray lays it into left back. Well, Ezalzouli coming for the left wing. Isco keeps it away from Cifuentes. Needs to keep it moving. He does do so with a pass backwards to Roca. Now to left back Abner. Midway inside the Rangers half. Betis still have possession of the ball. Isco lifts it forward to Ezalzouli. Tackled fairly by Tavernier. We've played the 2 minutes of added on time, and that'll be enough for the referee. It's been a game of few chances so far in the opening 47 minutes of the first half at Ibrox. The first chance came around 4 minutes in with Rabbi Matondo. He was played in behind the Betis defence by Kamar Roof with a beautiful ball. And as he got to the edge of the box, he decided to let fly. But instead of finding the right-hand side corner, he hit it straight at Bravo. And it was an easy save in the end for the Chilean goalkeeper. Betis have definitely been the more comfortable side on possession, Isco being a big part of that. And their first chance came 20 minutes in. Ezal Zuli on the left, having a shot towards the far post, saved by Butland. It was parried, but the main thing, it was saved, and it was eventually cleared in the end. And then with 15 minutes to go, there was two back-to-back chances for Betis. Enrique playing it down the right-hand side for Bellerin, who laid it into the edge of the box to Isco, who hit first time off balance, and his shot went over the bar. And same for Enrique as well, for Ezal Zuli, as well, who also had a strike on the edge of the box, going way over the crossbar. Then it went a little bit quiet for 10 or so minutes, and then towards the end of the half, there was a chance, both teams having chances to score. Roof was unable to turn Barazic's cross from the left-hand side towards goal, and then the ball ended up falling through to Sima, who tried to poke towards goal, but couldn't quite get necessary contact on it, and it went through for an easy save in the end for Claudio Bravo. So, two chances really for Betis, through Ezal Zuli having two half chances himself, Isco with a half chance as well. Matondo in the 4th minute definitely had a big chance one-on-one with Bravo, needed to find the corners and couldn't. So it's lacked quality, this game, really. Rangers have been pretty poor in possession, playing a lot of long balls forward, out wide, and not really making them stick. Both teams have had 5 shots, both had 2 on target, 51% possession for Betis. They've definitely looked better on the ball, they've looked smoother, they've looked a more gelled team for me. Betis, a better system of playing, and if anyone deserves to be in front, it probably is Betis, but there's not been good enough chances really from either side to warrant any goals so far. So it is 0-0 at half time so far at Ibrox. Second half will be getting underway in around 15 minutes time. As we look for the first goal here, as these two sides are in Group C, alongside Sparta Prague and Aris Limassol. But we'll go through the other results around Europe in the Europa League during half-time, and we'll have a look at the Conference League results as well. So let's have a look at the other Europa League scorelines at half-time. So we'll go through the ones that have already reached full-time. So these were the earlier kickoffs. Stade Rennes beat Maccabi Haifa 3-0. Lask went ahead against Liverpool in the first half, but were eventually beaten 3-1. Leverkusen had beaten Hacken 4-0. Karabag has beaten Molde 1-0. Servette, who were beaten by Rangers in the first rounds of qualifying for the Champions League, or the third round of qualifying, but it was Rangers' first set of games for the qualifying. They beaten at home by Slavia Prague 2-0. Roma coming away from Sheriff with a 2-1 victory. Goals from Gabi Kiki, own goal for Sheriff. And then Romelu Lukaku with the winner for Roma, scoring his second goal, scored at the weekend as well for Roma. And Villarreal had lost 2-0 to Panathinaikos. I can't say that. I'll have to learn that one. I'm not going to embarrass myself. And then Union St. Gillo drew 1-1 with Toulouse. And then the half-time results: Atalanta are drawing 0-0. Sturm Graz is drawing 0-0 with Sporting. Ajax and Marseille are 2-2. Bags of goals. Ajax went 2-0 up. And then Marseille have pulled it back 2-2. Olympiacos trail Freiburg 2-1 at home. Brighton are losing 2-1 to AEK Athens, the champions of Greece. Sparta Prague are 2-1 up still against Aris Limassol, the other two teams in this group. And West Ham are still 0-0 at home to Baka Topola. Let's have a look for Brighton. They went 1-0 down to Gibril Sidibe. And then they got an equaliser through João Pedro from the penalty spot. And then Gacinovic got them back ahead in the 40th minute before half-time. So they're the results from around the grounds in the Europa League. Let's have a look at the Conference League. So the early results. So I'll just go through the main ones. Aston Villa were beaten away at Legia Warsaw. It was 2-2 at half time, but Ernest Mucci, who scored twice that game, got the winner in the 51st minute. So Villa start their European campaign with a loss. Aberdeen also travelled to Frankfurt and were beaten 2-1. Went 1-0 down, but then equalised in the 22nd minute. But then a Robin Koch, who's on loan at Frankfurt from Leeds, got the winner in the 61st minute. Heartbreak for Aberdeen. And then no real relevant half-time scores in any of the other Conference League games. So here's half-time here at Ibrox. It's Rangers 0, Betis 0. Like I mentioned before, Betis have been the better side on the ball. They've looked just like a better team than Rangers. They've gone for a lot of long balls, Rangers, and not quite stuck yet. They're looking for long balls out wide and then down the centre, but Roof is doing his best off pretty scrappy balls. But yeah, the big chance for Rangers did come 4 minutes in to Matondo running in behind Bellerin and Petzela. It was a great ball by Roof. Took it early on the edge of the box, and it was an easy save for Claudio Bravo. And then for Betis, Ezal Zuli had 2 strikes at goal, 1 saved by Butland and 1 over the bar, and Isco also had a shot over the bar. So how good Betis has looked compared to Rangers. Betis haven't really made any clear-cut chances, unlike Rangers, who've had one big one through Matondo. But for Rangers, their upcoming games, they have Motherwell at home, and then Livingston in the Cup next in midweek next week, and then they welcome Aberdeen at home as well. So 4 games on the bounce at home for the Gers, who did make 9 new signings in the summer after 14 players departed the club, including Sakala to the Saudi League. Cholak joined Parma in Serie B. Ryan Kent left on a free to Fenerbahce. Glenn Kamara went to Leeds United. Helander, Arfield, Zukowski left on frees. Hadji was loaned out as well. Morelos and McGregor was released. So a big turnover this season for Rangers. A little bit of probably transforming for them. Bit of a transformation period, and the likes of Butland was brought in, Cifuentes and Seema from the starting 11. They also welcomed through the door Cyril Dessers, who's on the bench, signed from Cremonense, the striker. And also Sam Lammers from Atalanta for £3 million, another striker they bought in as well. Alongside another striker they bought in who's currently injured at the minute, unfortunately, and that's Danilo, who signed for £6 million from Feyenoord. But the commentaries keep coming on this channel currently at the minute. It will change and I'll explain in a minute. But the next coming up commentaries is, so we've got Real Betis tonight with Rangers. So then on Saturday night we have Burnley against Manchester United from Turf Moor. And then after that on the 26th on Tuesday, so next Tuesday, we've got Rochdale against Chesterfield. National League game that we're covering. And then next weekend on the Sunday, it is Blackburn against Leicester in the Championship. And then on the next Wednesday, so in just under 2 weeks' time, we will be covering Newcastle welcoming PSG. So we've got 4 more commentaries coming up in the next 2 weeks. And then I am away on holiday for a week, or just under a week. So then the commentaries will more unlikely return just the start of mid-October, around the 16th, which is the Monday start of the week. So there'll be no commentaries for about just over 2 weeks around that. So got 4 coming up in the next 2 weeks, then a week away, and then hopefully we'll return soon as well, with even more commentaries covering all kinds of leagues, as it mentions across the screen. Covering all the top European leagues and competitions, and even the lower leagues in England as well. like the National League with Rochdale and Chesterfield. Because Chesterfield are currently leading the National League, I believe. Last time I checked, I do like to keep up with the National League. Let's make sure that Chesterfield top of the league and Rochdale currently sits in 8th. So that'll be a tasty little fixture there in the 5th tier of English football. But we'll be getting back underway for the second half in just a couple of minutes' time now at Ibrox. 3rd largest stadium in Scotland, Ibrox. Interestingly enough. Only the one European title for Rangers back in 1972, beating Dynamo Moscow in the UEFA Cup Winners' Cup. And they were so close to winning the Europa League a couple seasons ago. Against Frankfurt, the commentary on this channel for that game, and it was just so agonising because they took the lead through Joe Rebo, and then the equaliser came. I think it was around 15-20 minutes to go, and then got it to penalties, and then obviously penalty is a lottery. I'm not bothered what anyone says, it is a lottery because you don't know what players are going to be in what mindset when stepping up for that penalty. They might change their mind last minute. It's a daunting experience, and Ramsey was the one who missed the most important one, and they did lose that one, and then they were able to get into the Champions League though anyway, despite losing that Europa League final, but then were beaten 6 out of the 6. They did have Ajax, Napoli and Liverpool in their group. They only scored 2 goals as well in their group, Rangers, and conceded 22, and that included the 7-1 loss to Liverpool at Ibrox. So I do think Rangers, the Champions League is maybe a step too far for them. I think they're more settled and can be more competitive in the Europa League, if you're going to be brutally honest. And to be fair, the same can be said for Celtic. They've started off horrifically as well. I know they were beaten the other night in their first Champions League game. Can't quite remember off the top of my head who they played, but they were beaten by Feyenoord away. Bit of a messy game as well. I remember checking the updates for that. They'd lost 2-0, but they also got 2 men sent off as well. Gustav Lagerbielke, the centre-back, and then Odin Thiago, funnily enough, for that guy, Odin Holm, he gave himself his own middle name of Thiago after Thiago Alcantara. He's one of the players he looks up to. Anyway, he came off the bench for them, Odin Holm, and was also sent off, so 2 men sent off, losing 2-0. Bit of a messy start to their Europa League campaign for Celtic. And they've only got to play Lazio and Atletico Madrid as well. You might have seen in that game as well, the Atletico Madrid Lazio one. Lazio goalkeeper scoring a last-minute equaliser in the 94th minute, wearing the number 94 shirt. It's like the stars aligned for him to score that equaliser. Ivan Providel, the Lazio goalkeeper. I mean, you're doing. I just love your stats and info. I do spend a lot of time on them, but it's interesting. I enjoy it, so it's good. And it makes the commentaries more exciting. Instead of me just saying loads of names all the time, you can learn some stuff about the players as well. While we're at it, might as well. But no, I do spend a bit of time on it, but I enjoy it, so I don't mind doing it. As Rangers do have options on the bench, attacking-wise, with, as I mentioned before, the 2 strikers they brought in the summer through Cyril Dessers and Sam Lammers. They've also got Scott Wright, the winger, on the bench as well. Currently, Danilo is out injured. Todd Cantwell's out injured as well, unfortunately, as the Betis players emerge from the tunnel to restart this second half at Ibrox. Just see Bellerin and Bravo in discussion there for Betis, as Hector Bellerin did rejoin the club. Had a loan spell at Real Betis, Bellerin, in the 2021-2022 season. And he left for Sporting, and then he had a loan spell last season at Barcelona. And now he's got a new permanent home at Betis. Hector Bellerin, who won the 3 FA Cups and the 3 Community Shields at Arsenal. He's both sets of players are out now for the second half, just waiting for the substitutes to return back to the bench off of the pitch. And can we get some goals here at Ibrox? We got plenty last night in the previous commentary, which was Bayern Munich against Manchester United. That ended 4-3 in the end at the Allianz Arena. As it'll be Rangers to kick off, kicking left to right. Betis right to left towards their supporters in the far right corner of the ground. Kamaru to get us underway once the referee blows the whistle. As Kamaru plays it back to Goldson. He'll go short to Cifuentes. Plays it back to Goldson. Touches it and gets it out to Tavernier on the right hand side. Ball inside looking for Lawrence. Cut out by Rodriguez. Picked up by Isco on halfway. Out to the left to Roca. Forward to Iglesias. Touches it to Roca. Out to the right to Enrique. Touches it ahead of Barisic. It's now back out to Petzela. Play's been stopped as Enrique was caught as he touched the ball. I think it was Barisic who may have just caught him slightly late. Just caught there by Barisic as he went to receive the ball there. Enrique. Back on his feet though, just hobbling slightly, the Brazilian winger. As they've got it with their left back, Abner. Curl ball down the left channel. Can't quite find Ezal Zuli. It drops to Lundstrom on the halfway. It's a rapid ball out towards Seamer and he can't take it under control. Asking a lot of him there. Lawrence actually the one who passed it. It's thrown into the midfield to Rodriguez. Ball out to the right. It's a big switch and he will find Enrique. He'll bring it down to number 11, the Betis winger. Going on the inside of Barisic, shoots with the left foot towards the far corner. And it's well wide and high and over the bar and a goal kick for Rangers. Decent play there from Luis Enrique, who got the 2 Europa League goals last season against Ludogorets and Roma. Couldn't quite find the far post there. And Rangers play from the back with Butland in the 6-yard box. Out to Davies on the left. Forward to Roof. Back into Lundstrom. Driving towards the left-hand side. Crossing the halfway line. Then playing it in behind towards Matondo. Cut out though by Petzela. And he'll try and clear it down the line. But Matondo gets out of the way. It'll be a Rangers throwing deep in the Betis half. Good pressurising there from Rabbi Matondo. Formerly of Manchester City. This is now with Lawrence in the centre of the park. Brought down too easily for the referee's liking. This play will continue with Rodriguez for Betis. He loses it to the Lundstrom. So Rangers have it back on halfway. And out to the right it goes to Tavernier. Ball forward to Seamer, but he's got back to the Betis goal. So has to go back towards his own goal. Pass to Tavernier. Heavy one, but just about moves it away from Isco. Goes back to his own goalkeeper here, Butland. Who clear up the field down the Rangers' right-hand side towards Kamaru Roof, who chests it down. All as far as Roca for Betis, but his clearance is poor. Gone to Cifuentes. It will look to the left, and it will be worked eventually to Barisic on halfway. Touch in front of him, and a pass forward towards Lawrence. Cut out, though, by Rodriguez, and it falls to Enrique on the Betis right. Goes backwards to Bravo, who clears up the field for Betis towards halfway. Controlled, though, nicely by Davies. And Lundstrom then finds Goldson. On halfway line now with Cifuentes. In the left-back area is Lundstrom. Drives away from Isco. Lays off into Barisic. Tries to get the return to Lundstrom, but it's cut out by Bellerin. His pass is too heavy for Isco. Goes away from him, and it's picked up by Cifuentes. Forward to Roof. Turns and looks out to the right-hand side, and will eventually get the pass out to Tavernier, midway inside the Betis half. Ball to his left to Cifuentes. Falls back to Goldson, and across he goes to Davies. Touches it away from Isco. Finds Goldson again, his centre-back partner. Lifted ball over the top. Finds Seamer. Trying to get away from Bartra. Gets a cross in, and it's met by Matondo, and it sweeps wide after a deflection for a corner. Really good ball there from Abdallah Seamer, the man on loan from Brighton. And as he got the cross in, ahead of the block from Bartra, it was met by Matondo. From the corner, it's now with Lawrence. on the left-hand side. Puts it into the path of Barisic, who will cross it first time. It's deflected into the air and caught in the 6-yard box by Bravo, who kicks out of his hands rapidly, trying to find a counter-attack, but it's blocked by Cifuentes on halfway. And it's back forward with Tavernier. Early cross himself, and it'll go right through and overhit for a goal kick for Betis. And the play hands can be calmed down. For James Tavernier, he has 10 Europa League goals. The only English players with more in the competition is Rashford with 13, and Harry Kane and Jermaine Defoe have 11. And the 7 he scored in the campaign where Rangers got to the final. And that is the most ever scored by an Englishman in one Europa League campaign, which is ridiculous, by the way, because James Tavernier is a right-back. And I know he's on penalties, but he does score his fair share of goals that aren't from the spot as well. And he's making his 40th appearance in the Europa League, Tavernier, 38 of them for Rangers. The other 2 for Newcastle, where he was at previously before Rangers. As we were just 5.5 minutes in. Much better from Rangers. Just didn't quite click in the first half, I thought. It was a little bit wayward, their play, just not quite connecting and linking correctly together. Cifuentes, just inside the Betis half, plays it forward and across to Lawrence. 25 yards out. Let's fly! And that's not far away. Tom Lawrence can strike it from afar. And as he pulled the trigger, he was making Bravo panic. On the right foot, that's just always hitting. Oh, it's just glanced off the post. Just didn't quite get enough curl on it there, Tom Lawrence, and it hit the outside of the post and away. That would have been some strike from the former Manchester United man. But unfortunately, it clips the post, and out it goes for a Betis goal kick, and it's already back in play. And we're with Connor Goldson at the back for Rangers. Goes midway inside his own half with a pass forward to Lundstrom. It's now Davies. Oh, what a ball forward to Roof. Tries to shift it away from Bartra, which he does do so momentarily, right on the halfway line. And he finds Barisic. It's now back in the Rangers half with Connor Goldson. Going deeper towards his own 18-yard box. As he finds the pass across to Davies. It's now Barisic. Lundstrom still in the Rangers half here, keeping possession away from the Betis press. Cifuentes, centre of the field. Forward to Lundstrom in the centre circle. Works out to the right to Seema. Helps it on once more out towards Tavernier, but it's gone beyond and behind. Actually gone behind, not beyond. Behind Tavernier and out for a Betis throw. But Betis have only lost 2 in their last 19 Europa League group stage games, winning 11 and drawing 6. Both of the losses were away from home, though, in the 2021-2022 campaign. One against Bayer Leverkusen and the other one against Celtic. So they have lost in Scotland not too long ago. Real Betis in December of 2021. Isco dispossessed on the Betis left. It's now with Matondo, and he's met with a strong challenge from Isco, but it's a fair one. He won the ball and conceded the throw-in. So on halfway with Rangers with Lundstrom. Gets into the path for Cifuentes. Finds Barisic. Ball forward to Matondo. Back into Barisic again. They're not forcing it forward, Rangers, so they've gone back here now with Lundstrom in the centre circle. Out to the right to Goldson, who's just striding forward slightly into the Betis half. Furthest right is Tavernier. He's got everything to his left. He goes backwards to Goldson. Ball around the corner to Kamar Roof, who's caught on the edge of the box, and it'll be a free kick. High boot. Betis wanted a flag for an offside. Instead, the ball went towards Kamar Roof. Mark Bartra with the high foot caught him in the chest, and it'll be a free kick for Rangers. That'll be a close one. Goldson first time. Kamar Roof's well onside, and as he went to chest it, Kamar Roof got the touch on the ball. Mark Bartra certainly didn't, and that's a very high boot towards the, I think that's on his nipple there, on Kamar Roof. Bartra's been booked, so I'm not sure if VAR will check that for a red. But that boot is very high from the former Barcelona and Borussia Dortmund centre-back. The referee's counting out the steps for the free kick, so I'm presuming it was on the edge of the box and not in the box. But Bartra has got to be careful there. for Real Betis, because that's a high boot. He's not been sent off yet for Real Betis, Matt Bartra, in his previous 147 appearances. But he's lucky he's not seen red there, to be completely honest. That was high. But just under 10 minutes into the second half, Rangers free kick right on the edge. More on the right-hand side of the box, so it's perfect for a left footer. About 20 yards out. Barisic with the left foot. He gets it over the wall and onto the bar. And behind for a goal kick. It was really close, so Barisic had a lot of work to do to get it up and over. But he did just that. He got it up. He was getting it down, and just not down enough to get it underneath the crossbar. Instead, it hit the top of the crossbar and away for a goal kick. So close for Borna Barisic. And actually, it goes for a corner. There must have been a deflection on that free kick. So Barisic will now go across to take it in swinging corner. In it goes, near post, header won by Betis, but kept alive by Matondo. But as he went to try and win the ball, he pushed Ezal Zuli in the back for Betis. So concedes the free kick there, Matondo, unfortunately. Kind of stopping the Rangers' momentum. Betis play from the back with Isco to Abner through the legs of Seema and shifting it on away from Kamara Roof to Rodriguez. Betis are still in their own half, but they're now in the Rangers' half with a pass out to the right to Enrique. Wants more movement, the Brazilian. Has to go back instead to Rodriguez. And in midway inside his own half, it's captain Petzela. It's now Enrique. Back into the Rangers' half we go on the Betis right. He's got Isco alongside him. We'll feed it to Isco and then we'll get the return. Further on they go into the Rangers' half. Ball forward to the overlapping Bellerin. Tries a cross, deflects off Barisic. It's a throw in for Betis towards the corner flag. It's the first time this half that Betis have really got forward. It's been a lot more of Rangers in possession since the restart. Thrown by Bellerin. Gets the return from Rodriguez. Now Enrique. 1-on-1 with Barisic towards that corner flag. Gets beyond Barisic the first time. Has to try and take him on again as the Croatian recovers. Still with Enrique. Twisting right on the corner flag now. He ran out of room. No. Tackled by Barisic. Thrown for Betis. Right on the corner flag. I thought Enrique had just controlled it and let it go for a throw-in, but instead he was tackled by Barisic and won the throw-in himself. Another Bellerin throw-in. Throws it to Isco in space. Moves it away from Lawrence. Rodriguez into Enrique. Takes it away from Matondo towards the byline. Right-footed cross into the 6-yard box. It's well plucked out of the sky by Jack Butland and Rangers survive. And he rolls it out to Cifuentes midway inside the Rangers half. Goes back to the left back, Borna Barisic. Now to the edge of the box to Ben Davies. And to his right, he plays it to Goldson. Now Tavernier. Lifted ball over the top of the Betis defence. It will roll towards Kamara Roof, who's dispossessed by Petzela. And he'll be playing it forward to Rodriguez, then back out to the right to Bellerin. He'll play it forward to Isco. Ball around the corner for Enrique. Will he get there ahead of Davies? No, he won't. The former Liverpool centre-half gets there first. Then goes back to Butland, who plays it forward to Lundstrom. Touch away from Isco. Great touch from the former Sheffield United man. And he'll drive into the Betis half and play it forward down the left for Rabi Matondo. He's got the overlap of Barisic. He'll feed it to the Croatian. Crosses it along the ground. It's blocked by Petzela. And it will drop to Rodriguez, who's pushed in the back, and he is fouled, and it'll be a free kick for Betis, who can breathe again after Rangers knocking up the pressure now. Unfortunate there from Matondo, who was once bought by Schalke from Manchester City for £11 million. And 3 years later, Schalke sold him to Rangers for only £2 million. So big loss for Schalke, who've obviously spent some years in the second division of Germany recently. Not this season, I think they're back in the Bundesliga. Or they've just been relegated, I can't quite remember. But Betis have the ball just inside their own half here. All Rangers men behind the ball currently, as it's Petzela on it. Now to Rodriguez in the right back area. Lifts the ball forward, looking in behind for Enrique. Overhit, overcooked, and it will run right through to Jack Butland for Rangers, who lost in the Cup semi-final to Celtic last season, then they lost the League Cup final to Celtic as well. Didn't win any trophies last time out. Rangers, which is not what they are about these days. They are more about winning than they've ever been. Did win that first league title not long ago. As Butland had the ball, Lawrence has gone down, and he really struggles with injuries, Tom Lawrence, and this is a sad sight to see. He was injured in September of last year and missed the whole season due to an Achilles injury. He missed the first 6 games of this season, returning from that Achilles injury, and it looks like he's just holding the Achilles again. I'm not sure if it's the Achilles or the calf, but it's that area of the leg, like the bottom back of the leg. And he'll be replaced here by Sam Lammers. Number 14, can play striker. He's got the 1 goal so far for Rangers. That came in the second game of the season in the Scottish Premiership to Livingston. So he's ready to come on, the former Atalanta striker. 6'3", so he's got some height, Sam Lammers. Not sure what that will mean, because Lawrence has just been playing in behind Kamaru. So unless they go for 2 up front, go for more of a 4-4-2 system, Rangers. Brighton still trail at home, 2-1. And number 11, Tom Lawrence, will be substituted. It's really sad to see. He's embarking on his first Europa League campaign, and he's been brought off, the 29-year-old, with injury. Literally missed all of last season injured. He missed the start of this season injured, and now he's off again. And here comes Sam Lammers. Got the 1 goal in 19 Serie A appearances for Sampdoria on loan last season. And he was actually part of the Frankfurt team and squad that won the Europa League in the 2021-2022 season against Rangers. We're back underway with Butland on the ball in the 18-yard box. Just under half an hour to go. Connor Galton on the edge of the 18-yard box. Goes back to Jack Butland. Not rushing anything here, Rangers. It's Connor Galton at right centre-back. Looking for a ball forward. It's a long ball forward. It's a lifted ball forward towards Seamer. Had a won by Bartra on the edge of his 18-yard box. Then cleared down the Betis left by Abner. And it deflects off a Rangers man for a Betis throw-in. He'll throw it into the Rangers half here, Abner, towards Iglesias. But it's a header won by Goldson, but a Lundstrom heavy touch gives it to Isco. He feeds it through to Iglesias, tries to get it away from Davies. Great tackle in the 18-yard box, and he concedes the corner, but he had to. Really poor from Lundstrom. That heavy touch gave it to Isco, and that's the one man you don't want to give it to, because he has showed his class tonight as he played it through to Iglesias. He couldn't get it away from Davies, who recovered for Lundstrom and conceded the corner. It'll be an Isco outswinger. In it goes. Header won by Seamer, helped on by Lammers. Drops to the edge of the box here to Abner, the left back. Goes back to halfway line to Bellerin. And then back once more to Claudio Bravo. Long ball forward by himself. It's a lifted one. Looking towards Ezal Zule. Header won though by Tavernier as far as Rocker. Towards Iglesias, who was offside, but play continues as he was headed away by Rangers, and it fell to Kamaru on halfway. Ball forward to Lammers. Wide left now is Matondo. 1-on-1 with Bellerin. On the edge, strikes it, deflects. Chested by Seamer. Lammers with the shot. It deflects as well. And out it goes for a corner. First few touches of the ball there for Sam Lammers, and he nearly got on the score sheet. He worked it out to the left of Matondo. On the edge of the box, he struck it off of Bellerin. And went to Seamer in the box, who chested down for Lammers, who got a shot away. But it was deflected behind for a corner. And Barisic will come over and take it on the near side. So it'll be a left-footed in-swinger from the Croatian. Can they break the deadlock here at Ibrox? Number 31, Borna Barisic. Left-footed in-swinger. It's a deep one towards Goldson, who will head it towards the edge of the box to Lammers. He brings it down. He shoots. It's blocked to the edge of the box again, where it's helped forward by Bellerin. Out to Isco on the right-hand side, and he's going to be stopped by Connor Goldson. Pulled back, held back, and that's a booking for the former Brighton centre-half. Connor Goldson, he is so reliable for Rangers. In that season, they won the league in the 2020-2021 season. Connor Goldson played all 56 competitive games, and I think he played every single minute as well, scoring 8 goals. So in the last, 5 years while he's been at the club, he has been so ever consistent, Connor Goldson. Now one appearance, 271 for the club. And Betis now have won a throw-in down their right-hand side. And it'll be Hector Bellerin to take. Into Iglesias, gets the return, tries to return it to Bellerin. Cut out by Rangers, but it falls back to Rodriguez. Iglesias again loses out. Lundstrom works it out to Matondo on the left. He's bursting away from Bellerin and from Mark Rocker as well. Matondo carries on, driving inside, edge of the box, strikes it, and he shoots it, and he gets the corner for it. Kemar Roofe was screaming for it to his left in the box, but Matondo only had one vision, and that was to score the goal. He kept going, he kept running, getting away from multiple challenges, but in the end his shot was blocked by Mark Bartra. And he does win his side of corner with 25 minutes to go. 7 corners Rangers have now won. Barisic going over again for an in-swinger. He's going to be helped with the support of Matondo, who's going to go for the short option. Can they make this stadium bounce? The goal would do just that. Barisic, in-swinger, nearly won by Davies. It drops to Lammers, and it's blocked by Bellerin. Another corner on the opposite side. They're getting closer, Rangers. No real clear-cut chances as of yet this half, but they've made some half chances. Some shots have been blocked, and a lot of them have won them corners. They're yet to really make the most of these set pieces. Tavernier's going to go to the far side for a right-footed in-swinger. Lundstrom's in there. Tavernier raises the right arm. He puts the ball and it's a deeper one towards Lammers at the far post, who heads it across towards Lundstrom, helped by Kemar Roofe. What a save by Bravo. Dalton helps it on Seamer. And it's a goal for Rangers. It's been bundled in. It was chaos. It was havoc in the box. But it was bundled its way in. The corner went to the far post where Lammers helped it back into the centre of the box. And from there was multiple attempts to try and get the ball in the net. And eventually it was poked home by Abdallah Seamer. Lammers won the first header on Isco. Helped on by Lundstrom. A volley by Roofe, which was so well saved by Bravo. And then Connor Goldson shot towards goal. And his shot deflected off Roofe across the goal. And was it Davies or Seamer to get the touch? They both went for it. They both kicked it at the same time. Who got that final touch? Oh, I really don't know. Let's have a look. Better angle here. Great save from Bravo from a few yards out on Kemar Roofe. Petzela couldn't clear. Goldson had a shot. Came off Roofe. Across goal. And it was... I'm not sure. I think Davies is claiming it. So it might be the centre-back who scored. And that'll be his first goal for the club. I think VAR are checking it. Not sure what for at the minute. Bravo's been booked. Probably due to his protest. He made an unbelievable save for the Kemar Roofe shot from the Lundstrom header forward. But then Petzela couldn't clear. Goldson struck it towards goal. It deflected back off Roofe and into the path of Ben Davies. Sorry, not Tom, Ben Davies. Of Ben Davies, yeah. I think it was Ben Davies. I thought it was Seamer. Because they both went and wheeled away in celebration. But I think they're checking as it deflected off Roofe from the Goldson shot. It might have come off the Roof hand, but the VAR says no to that. And the goal stands. It's Rangers 1, Betis 0 at Ibrox. And now the stadium's bouncing. It will be Davies' first goal for Rangers if it goes down as his. Some are saying it's Seamer's, some saying it's Davies. I don't know. I'll try and find some confirmation. But either way, it's 1-0 to Rangers. It was a scrappy goal from the corner, but they created their own chaos, Rangers. I think that was on purpose to just try and get, Betis, panicking. And that's exactly what they did. They were panicking big time and couldn't clear their lines, and it was bundled over the line in the end. Goldson clears forward towards Roof. Header won by Bartra. Up towards Iglesias. Who's tackled by Tavernier, but the touch is only gone as far as Rocker. Now Iglesias again, who, not sure what he's doing there. From honestly, right near the halfway line, he's just kicked the ball towards Butland, and it's an easy save for him. I don't even know if it was a shot. He just randomly kicked the ball forward, probably out of a bit of frustration there for Borja Iglesias. But we need confirmation of who scored this goal. I think it's gone down as Abdelhasima. So Ben Davies will have to wait for his first Rangers goal, and instead it's been labelled as a Abdelhasima goal. The man on loan from Brighton, as Brighton are currently level 2-2 in their first ever European game. 2 penalties from João Pedro against AEK Athens. As we're going to get a triple change here for Betis. So Luis Enrique, the Brazilian right winger, he's going to be replaced here by Ayoze Perez. Spent the back end of last season on loan here at Betis from Leicester. Now he's there permanently. Borja Iglesias is replaced by Willian Jose. And the other change, I didn't quite see who came off, but I'll let you know soon as it's Isco on the left. Can't get away from Seamer. And Lundstrom can keep it in and played forward. Cleared by Bartra towards halfway, where it's headed forward by Cifuentes and helped on by Lammers. Flicked on by Roof. Behind him to Seamer, who's tried to burst on towards goal. He's been tackled by Bartra and he kicks it out for a corner. Rangers have definitely been the better side this second half. Betis has just dropped off it massively. And the other player coming off for Betis is Ezal Zuli. And Rodri has come on. Rodri Sanchez. Been at the club since 2016. There was interest recently from Barcelona. So the front three's come off. Left wing, right wing and striker off for Betis. As the corner goes in, Galton heads it. It drops towards Lundstrom and he can't quite divert it towards goal. Galton was asking for a handball at the back post, but nothing was given from the referee. And Lundstrom couldn't help it on. It was an in-swinger from Barisic. Galton won the header. And it fell towards Lundstrom, but he couldn't quite create anything from it. It's now Betis on the left with Ayoze Perez on halfway. Across to the right, it goes to Rodriguez. It's now back to Bartra. Midway inside the Betis half. It's now Mark Rocker on loan from Leeds United. McGregor, wow. Bravo. I don't know why McGregor was in my head there. It's been picked up by Tavernier. Ayoze Perez dispossessed and a ball forward towards Kamar Roof has been cut out by Bartra as he was on the floor as well. He's done well to somehow stop that going through, even though he was on the deck. It's now Isco. Gets it into the Rangers half with a ball forward out to the left to number 10, Ayoze Perez. He's got the overlap of Abner, the left back, and he'll feed it to the Brazilian. He's got Isco supporting him. He'll play it to Isco. It's now Rocker out to Isco again towards the final third. 1-2 with Ayoze Perez. Now back to the former Leicester man. He keeps the ball moving with Rocker. Abner into Rocker. Nice 1-2 in the left wing position. Now he lifts the ball far post. It's a horrific cross. It's absolutely terrible. And it goes straight through for a Rangers goal kick. Let's have a look. Try to find whose goal. I think it was Seamer. Davies tried to claim it, but I think it was the studs of Seamer I don't know. It might even been a case of Davies kicking it onto the studs of Seamer. I mean, I wouldn't want to be the people deciding whose goal that is, because I still don't know. But Rangers give it away. Isco, Willian Jose, 25 yards out. He holds it up too long, but he does get it out to the right-hand side to Rodri. Goes on the outside of Barisic. Ball across, and it's nearly deceived Buckland into the back of the net. But he tips it over the crossbar and concedes the corner. Decent play on the right there from Rodri Sanchez. And it was nearly going over Buckland there, but just tapped it over for a corner. Trying to keep his first clean sheet in Europe. He kept no clean sheets in the 4 Champions League qualifying games he played. He'll be an in-swinger from Rodri. In it goes, helped on by Bartra, and nearly helped on at the far post by Perez. He got up really well there, Mark Bartra. Headed it towards the far post. And Jose Perez had gone away from Tavernier and nearly got his right foot towards it. But instead it just snaked wide of the post. Bartra beating Kamaru to it. But Jose Perez wasn't quick enough. And he saw it behind for a goal kick. Under 15 minutes to go. Game of 2 halves. Betis definitely the better side in the first half, but Rangers have stepped it up in the second. Manuel Pellegrini will not be best pleased. He doesn't want to start his campaign with a loss. Long ball forward from the goal kick by Butland and brought down by Roof to Lammers. What a touch that is. Now out to the right to Seamer, who seems to have got the winner. Ball in behind for Tavernier on the byline. Across it goes, but it's straight into the hands of Bravo. And he'll roll it out quickly to the edge of the box, and Betis will look to counter. It's now with Bellerin. Crosses the halfway line. He's got Isco in behind on the left. He'll search for him and he'll find him in the box. Just outside the box now as the ball travelled a bit further on. Isco, 1-on-1 with Goldson. Plays it to the edge of the box to Rocker. First time ball, looking for Willian Jose. Headed away, almost finds Rocker again. Finds Abner. Perez, nearly finds Rocker. Tackled late. Not late, perfectly. But it was a late challenge to make. Just got there, Davies. Poked out for a throw for Betis, which they've taken quickly. Isco to Rocker. Deflected pass to Perez in the box. Can't get beyond Goldson, but he forces him to concede the corner. Good defence in the end there by Connor Goldson. And there was a good tackle from Davies as well just before that to move the ball away from Rocker, who was entering the box. Isco was thinking about taking an in-swinger, but instead it's going to be an out-swinger from Rodri Sanchez. Rodriguez is in there. Petzela is in there as well with Mark Bartra, who won the header at the last corner. Game's not over here for Rangers. They need to concentrate. Rodri to take this out-swinging corner. In it goes, near post. Kamaru helps it into the box towards Mark Bartra, but it falls to Matondo in the end. And it's Lammers back towards Matondo, heavy touch, and it's a tackle won by Abner. But he fouls Matondo, as Matondo just got back in front of him to get the ball, and he was pulled down by the Brazilian left back. And that'll be a free kick for Rangers just inside their own half on the left-hand side. Another commentary coming up on the channel this Saturday night. Burnley, Manchester United, 8 o'clock. Lammers on the right wing. Tries to enter the box, but he's stopped by Bartra, then brought down by Bartra, and that'll be a free kick. Needs to be careful. The Spanish centre-back, he's already on a booking, as he cynically pulled down Sam Lammers, who's definitely had an impact since coming on for the injured Tom Lawrence. There's good hard work there as well from the Dutch striker. He lost the ball to Bartra, but then tried to win it back immediately, and he's won the free kick because of his work rate. Bravo barking instructions out to his defence to defend this corner because they've already conceded one set piece. It was quite the mess, the corner they conceded from. But here's Barisic from the free kick. In-swinger, deep one, looking for Lundstrom. He'll help it. He tries to help it back in the box, but it's a little bit of a deep one and it comes off his head and out for a goal kick. Rangers will still fancy getting a winner here. They're going to bring on some more solidity. Is that a word? Have I made up a word there? I don't think I have. In midfield with Ryan Jack coming on in a moment as Perez gets beyond Tavernier, drives inside away from Cifuentes and from Lundstrom. What a run from Perez. Can he release? He will release it. Rodri cuts onto his right foot in the box. He shoots it in the near post. Strong hand from Butland. And Barisic can clear it at the left back area. Clips it up towards Matondo. Header won though by Petzela. Back forward for Betis. And it's not been kept in though by Rodri Sanchez. And it'll be a throw midway inside the Rangers half. But what an expert save that from Butland. It was an unbelievable run from Ayoze Perez from left to right. Bursting down into the Rangers half. He released it to the right to Rodri Sanchez in the box. On his left foot. And then reversed the shot back towards the near post. But Butland was equal to it with a strong right hand. Strong left hand, sorry. And here comes the change. Jose Cifuentes, signed in the summer from LAFC for £1.2 million. He's going to be replaced here by Ryan Jack. Coming on for his 8th appearance this season. Only the one start in the league, and that came in the Old Firm derby. And he's been getting consistent call-ups for Scotland now for over a year. And now he comes on for Rangers to see out this 1-0 result. Long throw up towards Kamaru. Bullied to the ground there by, I think that was Petzela. And he wins the free kick on the far left there, Kamaru. And his shirt's been ripped, which shows the contacts from the Betis man. And he's going to be booked as well. He's really good, Kamaru. I really like him. Yeah, Petzela. The ball went beyond him and he tried to stop Roof from going around him and getting on the ball. Pulled him down, yellow card. But every time I've watched Kamaru, he's such a workhorse. He works so hard. He's a top-class finisher. And I really like him. The 30-year-old. And he's won his side a free kick where it's quite far out. It's more towards the halfway line on the left-hand side. But they can easily send this into the box and try and cause a little bit more trouble. Which Betis seem to struggle with when balls are put in the box. There it goes, into the box towards Seamer, and it's missed by him and Lundstrom. And right through it goes for a goal kick. Eight and a half minutes left to play. Rangers have a 1-goal lead. It's gone down as a Abdullah Seamer goal. But both him and Davies helped prod it home from a couple yards out after a scrappy corner. But Perez will look to try and make the difference with Betis. Ball inside towards Isco on halfway. Miscontrols it and then gives it back to Lundstrom. As Rangers can restart again with 8 minutes to go. Butland in his 18-yard box. First time clearance up the field. It's met though by the head of Petzela, who heads it forward for Betis towards Isco. Loses out to Goldson with an aerial battle. It's only headed as far as the halfway line to Rocker. It's now been worked to Perez. Turns away from Ryan Jack, the substitute. And goes to his left to Mark Rocker. In a left wing position. Thought about the cross the first time. Opts against it and goes down the line instead to Perez. Back towards goal. And he's been tackled by Tavernier and the last touch came off Perez. Thrown for Tavernier to take for Rangers deep inside their own half. So they've got some work to do to get it away from their own goal. Throwing down the line towards Kamaru, battling with Barcher, and Barcher wins. And it's helped forward for Betis towards Perez. He loses out to Lammers, and Goldson tries to clear up the field for the Jers, but it's a bit of a slice one out for a throw-in on the Betis left, midway inside their own half with Abner, the left back. Only 6 survived for Betis from the Barcelona 5-0 defeat at the weekend. Isco was one of the survivors. He tries to link up with Ayoze Perez on the Betis left, but it's stopped by Galton, and another slice clearance goes for another throw-in, but this time just inside the Rangers half. They've got to be resolute, they've got to be strong, and they've got to defend well if they want to keep these 3 points, which they've worked well for in this second half. They had to improve from the first half performance, and they've done just that. But Bravo clips it out to Bellerin on the right-hand side as he gets forward from full-back, lays it off into Rodri. Going on the inside, then back on the outside with a pass forward to Bellerin. Gets there ahead of Lundstrom, but it's poked away by John Lundstrom, and it'll be a throw-in for Betis towards the corner flag. Will Betis break Rangers' hearts on the opening game of the Europa League campaign for 2023-2024 season? Isco to his left to Abner, forward from full-back. Out wide left it goes to Perez. Forward to Rocker, turns Galton, pokes it through to Abner, across it goes, and he was looking for Willian Jose, but it was well collected by Jack Butland, and Rangers survived, but Betis nearly broke through. Great turn on the edge of the box by Rocker to send Galton out of the game, and as he played it through to Abner, the cross has to be better. Was looking for other Brazilian, Willian Jose, who's already got 3 goals this season in the league against Villarreal, Atletico Bilbao and Rayo Vallecano. But he wants his first in Europe for this season, but he won't get it through a cross like that. Long ball forward to the edge of the Betis box, dealt with by Petzela, and then Bella into Rodri. He loves driving inside that Rodri, getting it onto his stronger left foot and sending it out to the left to Abner. Forward it goes to Jose Perez. The substitutes have definitely made a positive impact for Betis. Perez is tackled there strongly by Tavernier, but he regains possession again. Isco, again just gliding to the left-hand side and playing the ball through to Rocker. Back towards Isco, cut out by the slide challenge of Jack and then cleared by Tavernier. Towards Roof, who's pushed in the back, but the referee doesn't see anything wrong with it. And it's back in Betis' possession with Abner, just about shifting it in time to Jose Perez, halfway inside the Rangers' half. Goes on the inside with a pass to the right to Rocker. Goes on once more to Bartra in the centre circle. Curls out to the right now to Rodri. The Betis number 17 onto his left foot, faking the first cross. They're playing a pass through to Rocker. Lays it off to Isco. Clips it into the far post where he'll find Jose Perez. Helps it across towards the far post. Unconvincing header from Barisic. It'll drop to Rodri for Betis. One-on-one with Lammers. Twisting, turning, not clipped by the... He was clipped by the Dutchman. Free kick for Betis on the edge of the box on the right-hand side. They won't go down without a fight, Manuel Pellegrini's men. He chopped back towards the right side there and he was just caught by Lammers. Free kick for the Spanish side in green and white as Brighton have gone 3-2 down with 6 minutes to go. Ezekiel Ponce with the goal for AEK Athens. So on their European debut, Brighton are down by 3-2. Come on, the Jers, get into these. Love the passion. Looks like it will be a tough 3 points to pick up. Don't think Betis will give up without a fight, as I just mentioned. They've got a great chance here. Isco, cross, parried by Butland, and it's helped on to the side netting by Jose Perez. It was a wicked ball with pace by Isco towards the far post, and Perez was there unmarked as well. And as he tried to stretch out to it on his left foot, the angle was very tight. And in the end, he hit the side netting of Jose Perez. We're going to get another change each for both sides. Another change for Real Betis. Isco comes off. The number 22, who has been fantastic tonight. It's not quite worked for him in the second half, but you can completely see why he was playing for a club like Real Madrid for so long and making 353 appearances for Real Madrid. And he'll be replaced by number 38, Asane Diao, a left winger. The Spanish international. Has made appearances for Spain's under-19s. As Rangers want to make a double change of their own, and they're going to do so with 2 minutes to go, pulsated on time. First change going to be Kamaru for number 25, who's worked his absolute socks off. He might be credited with the assist as well, because the Galton shot from the corner was deflected off Roof's chest into the path of Seema, who prodded home. Didn't know much about it, but it'll be Roof off for Cyril Dessers, and Abdullah Seema, the goal scorer, will be coming off. And he will be replaced by number 21, Dujon Sterling. He is a right back, so it's more of a defensive choice from Michael Beale. And Sterling throws it long down the line towards Dessers, tries to help it back inside towards Lammers. Cut out by Betis, helped forward by Perez with a header. As far as Lundstrom, who aims it towards the corner flag, headed inside looking for Dessers again. But it's cleared by Mark Rocker, looking for Willian Jose. Loses out to Galton, hooks back forward towards Dessers, who's not in an offside position. He holds it up and finds Lammers. Tries to play a ball through towards Dessers in the box, but it's been cut out. And Lammers has committed a foul there on Bartra. And it'll be a free kick for Betis on the edge of the 18-yard box. A minute to go of the 90. Still 1-0 to the Jers. As Bartra plays the free kick short to his goalkeeper, Bravo. Big kick up the field towards the right-hand side, brought down here by Diao. And plays it into Bellerin. 1-2 with Diao as he continues running centre of the pitch, drifting from right to left. He looks to the left and he finds Ayoze Perez. Goes once more to Abner, tries to take on Ryan Jack, but he's stopped in the right-back area. And he clears it down the line towards Dessers. He loses out though. And it's now back with Roca for Betis. It's now into number 15, Mark Bartra. Betis will come again. He lays it off towards Perez. Tackled by Tavernier, who tries to clear, and it deflects to Sterling, who then clears it long himself, only as far as Claudio Bravo, deep in the Betis half. Let's see how much added on time we're going to get. 5 minutes of added on time at Ibrox. Matondo, big slide challenge to concede the throw-in on halfway. Only 6 players remain at the club from the starting 11 that started Rangers' last Europa League game, that final against Frankfurt. They've had a lot change in the summer. 14 players left, 9 came in. And this looks like a win that will really lift their season. As it falls to Ryan Jack halfway inside his own half. Plays it to Lundstrom. Dispossessed. Here's Rodri. Edge of the box. Onto his left foot. Wants to shoot. He will shoot! And it's saved at the near post by Butland. Concedes the corner, but he's equal to another Rodri shot. You can see why that Rodri has been linked to Barcelona. He's just got that bit of magic about him. Cutting onto that left foot from the right-hand side. And the shot was well matched by the save from Butland. But Betis are running out of time to create the chances to try and score the equaliser. It'll be an in-swinger from this far side, right in front of the Betis travelling supporters. In it goes towards the near post, header won by Sterling. Out to the edge of the box to Rodri. Goes across to the left to Abner, the left back. Forward to Diao, who's in the left wing position here. One-on-one with Ryan Jack, the number 38. Try to take him on. Can't take him on. He's been tackled and he fouls Ryan Jack. As Ryan Jack won possession, Diao tried to win it back but pulled him down and concedes the free kick. And with just over 3 minutes left of the game, Rangers are doing a good job of seeing this out. Three minutes to play. Rangers 1, Betis 0. Currently separated by a goal from Abdelacima in the 67th minute. It was a scrappy corner. It's been a bit of a scrappy game with chances. Not loads of clear-cut chances and quality, but Rangers are the ones with the lead. It's a big kick up the field by Butland towards Dessers. Header won by Bartra. Out to the left to Perez. Loses out to Sterling. Helped forward by Ryan Jack towards the byline. Can he be kept in by Tavernier? It is, and he will go towards the corner flag. He shields the ball away from Abner and Roca and wins the throw-in. Really well done there from James Tavernier, the captain. Making his 40th Europa League appearance in his career. The right back has already got 4 goals so far this season, 3 of them in Europe in the Champions League qualifiers. His goals weren't enough to get them in the Champions League, but they're still at a good high quality level in the Europa League. Tavernier receives it from the Sterling throw-in. Loses out, but then Lammers comes to help him to win it back, but then he loses out as well to Roca. Can't get it forward at the minute. Now they can through Rodriguez on the edge of the 18-yard box. Forward towards Diao, who gets there ahead of Ben Davies. And it'll be a throw-in for Betis to take. Midway inside the Rangers half. They throw it back here to Abner. Back once more on halfway to Roca. Forward to Rodri. Away from Ryan Jack. Good skill from Rodri. Ball forward into Ayoze Perez on the left. Cutting onto his right. Playing across to... into Diao. And that is a shocking strike. Edge of the box. He tried to take it on first time, opening up the body with the right foot. And tried to send it towards the far post. But he just completely miscued it. Sent it so far wide of the post. And that might be that for Betis with only just a minute to go. As Brighton still trail at the Amex. 3-2. But this Scottish side in Rangers are back with a bang in the Europa League. 1-0 currently. Under a minute to go. Butland takes the goal kick. High into the Betis half. Can't be helped on by Lammers. Header won by Bartra. Met at the halfway line by Goldson. Lammers tries to head it down towards Matondo. Helped forward by Rodriguez. Only as far as Goldson again on halfway. Cleared forward to Abner. Gets it forward for Betis. And Jose Perez loses out to Tavernier and Lundstrom. And they win the throw-in as Tavernier clears it off Rodri. And there's 30 seconds to go. And Rangers just about might have done this and have seen the game out. Only 5 wins in their last 10 in all competitions for Rangers. Bit of a shaky start to the season in the league with 2 losses in 5. But they're starting well in Europe in the Europa League as Dessers fouls Mark Bartra from behind. And it'll be Betis to take, and he needs to get it forward quickly. And I think Bravo is going to do that. We've played the 5 minutes of added on time. I don't think there'll be much added on top of it. Bravo sends it long for Betis, and that will be that from the referee. Lawrence Visser blows his whistle. Michael Beale and Manuel Pellegrini shake hands, but it is Michael Beale to have the last laugh and to be smiling on his way home. Rangers 1, Betis 0. It was a good first half from Betis. Isco showing his quality, but in the second half, the tide turned into Rangers' favour. Started playing much better, keeping the ball on the deck, playing their football, and their goal came from a corner. In the 67th minute, it was a deep one, and the header at the far post was helped inside to Lundstrom, who headed forward to Kamaru, who shot from 3 yards out. It was so well saved by Bravo, but it dropped to Connor Goldson, who struck towards goal. It deflected in the 6-yard box off Kamaru's chest, across the goal towards Seamer and Davies. Both of them went for it. It seemed like both of them put it in the back of the net, because I think there's still confusion on who got the last touch. But it's gone down at the minute as an Abdullah Seamer goal. And like I say, a game of 2 halves, but Rangers have just about edged it at home at Ibrox. It's a positive start in their new Europa League campaign. The last time they were in this competition, they got to the final and were defeated. This time they want to go one better, and they started off in the perfect way with a 1-0 home win. I've definitely seen Rangers play better, and I've probably definitely seen them play a little bit worse, but they just did enough for the 3 points. If Betis were able to keep their positive play and their positive start in the first half and were able to get it into the second half, then possibly I think Betis might have been a bit too much for Rangers tonight, but they kind of fell off the gas a little bit, Betis, just doing things a little bit slower, just losing a bit of quality in the final third, and Rangers only got better as the game went on, and they eventually got their goal in with 23 minutes left to play. Abdullah Seamer is going to be the one to claim it, scoring his second goal after joining on loan from Brighton. Ben Davies, I think, will have to wait for his first Rangers goal. Thought he'd got his first Rangers goal in his 40th appearance for the club, but I think he'll have to wait. I think it'll be an Abdullah Seamer goal. One of the easiest goals he'll score. Pokes it in from around 2 yards out. Brighton are still playing. They're still 3-2 down. So the Scottish side here have won. Brighton, on the other hand, are still behind, but there's 13 minutes of added on time. And they've played 8.5 minutes of it. I don't know where that added time's come from. But Brighton still trail 3-2. We could have some late drama though in that one, so we'll stay around, see this Brighton game off, see what happens. Can't quite commentate on the AAK Athens players because unfortunately I don't really know them that well. But I know the Brighton players. But it is Rangers to take the 3 points in their first game. In the other game in their group, Sparta Prague came out 3-2 winners against Aris Limassol. So Sparta Prague take the 3 points in the other game in Rangers group. West Ham ended up winning 3-1. Went 1-0 down actually through Peter Stanic. But Nemanja Petrovic own goal in the 66th minute. A first goal for Mohamed Kudus. And then a Thomas Souček goal gave West Ham the 3 points against Baka Topola. West Ham not the easiest group. They've also got Freiburg and Olympiacos. Brighton still trail here with 4 minutes left to play. 3-2. But thanks to everyone who did listen to the commentary for the Rangers Betis game. My next commentary is on Saturday as Burnley welcome travelling Manchester United. And then next Tuesday we're commentating on Rochdale against Chesterfield, so make sure you tune in for that one as well. But I'll just leave after we see this Brighton game out, their first ever game in Europe. See if they're able to get a late equaliser here. They're attacking at the minute in the final third. Down the left, I think that's Estepinian. Now to the right to Solly March. Is that Van Hecker at the back? Driving forward, striking from far, blocked. And drops it to the head of Solly March, who nods it down here. So Van Hecker. AEK Athens really sitting back here, doing a good defensive job to try and see the 3 points out. Struggling to break this down, Brighton, and I don't really blame them because this is just a yellow wall in front of them, and Pascal Gross gives it away with a heavy touch. Danny Welbeck tries to win it back, and AEK Athens try and break. Pass intercepted on halfway by Igor. Can Brighton get a late equaliser here? So I'm giving it additional content. How nice of me. I am joking. As Igor from centre back getting forward. Literally everyone is so far in the AEK Athens half. Solly March trying to get a shot towards goal. Nearly loses balance, but his pass is intercepted. But it does drop to a Brighton man. Gross. Oh, pass out to that's such a tired pass from Gross. Tries to get out to the right hand side. It's been intercepted and cleared, but still a throw in for Brighton inside the Athens half. Is that Enciso? Is that Enciso back? Oh no, it's Buonanate. Buo Nanote. That's a hard name, that number 40 for Brighton. Minutes ago. Solly March on the right wing. Onto that left foot. Swings it. Far post. Header won by a man in yellow. And it will go for a corner. Is that Amrabat for AEK Athens? Obviously his brother has just recently signed for United. Yeah, Nordin Amrabat, formerly of Watford. Currently at the age of 36, playing his football in Athens. Fair enough. Like I said, his brother Sofian just signed for Manchester United. I think this will be it. 30 seconds to go. Last chance. Corner for Brighton. In swinger towards the keeper who misses it. Van Hecker. Oh, just blocked and cleared. But that was probably that for Brighton. Lamptey chasing back for it. He gets it to Jason Steele. He's on halfway. 10 seconds to go. They need to recycle it in the box there. Estepinian driving forward. Oh, trying to find, is that Ansu Fati? That's such a bad pass. Cleared. We played 13 minutes. Is the whistle gone? The whistle hasn't gone yet. Lamptey on halfway. Get it forward. Get it forward. March. Down the line. Welbeck. Lamptey. Get it forward. I'm so glad I'm not actually commentating because I wouldn't be saying this if I was commentating on the game. Get it forward. But long ball forward to Van Hecker. Heads it on. Welbeck on the edge. Heavy touch. It's tackled. It's cleared. And that'll be that. Despite being such an exciting team in the Premier League, Brighton have been beaten in their first ever European game to AEK Athens. Finishes Brighton 2, Athens 3. Ripping it up in the Premier League, Brighton, but they've been stopped in their first European game at home. 3-2, and the 2 goals they scored, Brighton, were penalties as well, which might tell you a bit about the game. I'm not too sure because I didn't watch it. But the game we watched, and well, if you didn't watch, I watched and commentated for you, did end Rangers 1, Betis 0 at Ibrox. It's a positive start for Rangers, who are 4th in the league currently with 9 points. Celtic, St Mirren and Motherwell are above them currently. They have already lost 2 games in the league, one to Celtic and one to Kilmarnock, so already ground to make up in the league for Rangers, but they've started off well in the Europa League. But I hope you did enjoy. Make sure you like and subscribe if you haven't already. Next commentary is Burnley against Manchester United on Saturday night at 8 o'clock. The one after that is Rochdale taking on Chesterfield on Tuesday night. Make sure you're there for that one. But from me, it's the end of the live stream. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure you like and subscribe if you haven't already. Tonight at Ibrox, they have started with a positive result to Betis, who came. They tried to conquer. They failed to. They were beaten fairly in the end for an Abdelasima goal from a scrappy corner. Poked him from a few yards. Rangers start well. Can they continue? Could they even get to another Europa League final? We'll wait and see. But they start off with a win. It finishes here at Ibrox. Rangers 1, Real Betis 0.